Why that shadow at the back? Let me see something. All right, all right, all right. All right, Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. This is Kazak Eliyahu. And we're here for another Shabbat teaching. And look at today's topic. The false Hebrew awakening. A very thought-provoking topic. I know people might be saying, what does he mean by this? Let me see what's going on here. I don't see it's streaming, so yeah. A very, thought-provoking topic. And when this one came to me, I never got this one until Thursday. When it came to me, and I saw how it was developing, I was saying to the Most High, what is this? Why are you giving me this? And I actually doubted for a while. Until on Friday, someone came and sent some questions challenging something about the true awakening, about fleeing out of the midst of Babylon. And then I realized why the Most High was giving it to me. Because we have got a lot of teachings about fleeing Babylon. And when I got this teaching, I never knew what the teaching was saying. I just got a few verses. And when the Most High started to put them together and I started to see what it was saying, I realized that he was actually giving us a deeper insight into this thing about fleeing out of the midst of Babylon. And then the person came yesterday, Friday, with questions challenging what we had taught before. And then I realized that, hey, this is the Most High. He answered their questions before they came with the questions. And so I said, thank you, Father, this is confirmation. And the more I conversed and the more things happened today and I saw things happening, I realized why the Most High gave us. Let me try to improve. Oh, yes. So why the Most High gave us this. Oh, that looks better. Why he gave us this teaching. Okay? So, let's begin. The false Hebrew awakening. What we have happening today. What we have happening today is that everyone is a teacher. There's no shortage of persons who claim to be teachers. Everybody, as we have said it last week, everybody who seems to know or get some understanding or insight into the scriptures, know wanting to teach. There is an Hebrew awakening that came out of a group called One West that came out, I think maybe in the 70s or I don't know when, long time ago. They awakened us to the fact about Israelites. But they awakened with some doctrines that are foundational doctrines that are very, very, not only questionable, blatant, errant. And they have been the core group that has been pushing the fact that we are Hebrews. And you have had many people that have broken away from that group. And they are what form the modern Hebrew Israelite groups, camps today. So what happened with these camps, that they position themselves as authorities on our awakening, but their foundation are flawed because their foundations are built on the false foundations that they got from One West. Doctrines like Israelite only can be saved. No baptism. We're not in the new covenant. A whole lot of different little things that are can totally be proved to be errant. They hold on to these things. Now, because they are the ones that are leading this, And I have always been strident against them, not against our people, but against the religion, just as how I am strident against Christianity. And people have come to me and said, you should not, they are our brothers, and so and so. But that is error, because wrong is wrong and right is right. The Edomite comes with an error, and we are free to speak to him, but our brothers come with an error, we are not free to speak to him or about it. That doesn't make any sense. Woe to him that call evil good and good evil. That's what the Most High said. The Messiah was speaking to our people. He said, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. Okay? Because if the people are misleading our people, if they are leading our people astray, let me make sure that everything is okay. Is everything okay on YouTube, etc.? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, everything is running on YouTube and Rumble.
Okay, good, good. All right. So, yeah. Where was I? Yes. So we cannot now have our brothers deceiving our people, and because they are our brothers, we keep quiet and we do not call them out about it. No, they are utterly misleading our people in a false Hebrew awakening. Their awakening calls for us just to be Israelites and to turn back to the Most High's commandments. That's it. That is misleading, because that's not what the word says. We are called to walk, follow after the Messiah, to be like the Messiah, to abide in the Messiah. And when we abide in him, then we will obey the commandments of the Most High. So the Messiah is kind of pushed back. Now, these persons in the Hebrew awakening, they also exhibit a lack of righteousness, aggression. They curse, they swear, they mock, they everything sinful. Yet still, they are leading people now to think that that is the way to righteousness, that is all they have to do. Every time that I comment on a Hebrew Israelite post, almost sure you see somebody mocking me with a laughing emoji, mocking me, calling me this and that and that. These are the people that our people are leading. So they are making the people twice as much as hell as they are, as Hamashiach said to the Pharisees. Yes? So you make one proselyte and make him twice a child of hell as you are. That's what is happening. So what are we to do? If the Most High knows and sees us sitting here saying nothing, and saw how Hamashiach spoke to the religious people of the day, then we would be guilty. We have to speak out against this fake, false Hebrew awakening, directing people into error. Yes? So let us begin. So what we have today, we have two different types of believers today. Two different types. Matthew 15:14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. So what we have today, we have blind people leading the blind. This is what I'm telling you that is happening. Those who don't know, leading those who don't know. Because they believe with all their hearts that they are on the right path. The people they lead believe that they are being led on a right path. Yes, but they're being led down a ditch. Because there's another set of people. John 9:41. Yahusha said unto them, if ye were blind, ye should have no sin. There are those who are blind, who accept that they are blind, they cannot see, and are seeking to see. These are those of persons who, like myself, will be following just the word. Because we accept that we don't know, and so we go out to seek. So every week, there will be different teachings and different levels and depths of teachings, because we are searching and we are digging. But with them, it is the same thing almost over and over again, every single day, every single week. Yes? Because they think they see. Yahusha said unto them, if ye were blind, ye should have no sin. But now ye say ye see, therefore your sin remaineth. So they say they see, meaning they accept and think and say that they are on the right path. And because of that, go over to Matthew 15:14, let them alone, they be blind leaders of the blind. So because they think they see, they are there, position themselves as teachers, leading the blind. With the blind falling into the ditch. Both of them falling into the ditch. But the true end time teachers of the Most High are the elect, and they call themselves elect. But when we see what is the hallmark of the elect, we'll see that most of them are not elect. Because I've watched them and heard them speaking, calling themselves the elect, with their unrighteous selves. That doesn't play. The Most High does not play that with his elect. The Most High does not allow his elect to go into unrighteousness. The least little slip the elect makes, the Most High whips them back in line. Okay? You will not see an elect there swearing and cussing and laughing and mocking people. That's not the elect. That's not the elect. So, the elect will see, but the rest will be blinded. So, the Most High deals with the elect with a very, very short fuse, as it were. The elect are not allowed to go astray because they will be the ones who will be bearing the Most High's truth. So, the Most High opens the eyes of the elect, but the rest are blinded. The rest are blinded. And to see, the rest will have to go to the elect to see. Here is a problem that we have today. Everyone believes that they are elect. So because everyone is elect, no one goes to anyone to see. The people who the Most High chooses to bear his word, people do not go to them. Instead, those who do not know, who think they see, who are blind thinking that they see, what do? They teach and fight against what the elect says. Because the elect will see, but the rest will be blinded. Romans 11, verse 5. Even so then, at this present time also, there is a remnant according to the election of grace. The election of grace. So the Most High always leaves an election, a remnant. So it's not a whole lot of people, it's a remnant. And if by grace, then is it no more of works? Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. So what he's saying is the remnant is by the Most High's grace. It's not because of anything that the elect has done, but it is because of the favor of the Most High, not because of any works that the elect have done, but it's because of the grace of the Most High, because he uses the elect according to his purpose. What then? Yasharal hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So out of our nation, he will choose the elect, and the elect will find what they seek for, and the rest of our nation will be blinded. According as it is written, Allah hath given them the ruach of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. So it is the Most High who deliberately made it so, made them not able to see nor hear. It's very critical that we understand this. They will be there, preaching proudly, nicely, everything, and thinking they know, thinking they see, and the Most High has blinded them. Now, I go and we listen to them. When we listen to them, these people are so cocksure of what they're saying, we start saying, yes, yes, true, true. Not knowing that these people are blinded. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. So if we follow them, and this is why I am telling you, the Most High is merciful. Sometimes I don't want to say anything. I don't want people to think that I am boasting. I'm telling you the truth. But sometimes I have to give the testimonies so you understand what I'm talking about. I keep telling you that the Most High has been showing me over and over again. Do not listen to anyone. Do not. To the point where I've reached now, when I come and I see people trying to teach over me, like for example on Facebook and people trying to teach me, I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to unfriend them, etc. etc. Because the Most High has shown me over and over again, do not listen to anyone. I will lead you. I will teach you. So these people, blinded, thinking they see, not knowing that the Most High has given them the ruach of splendor, of slumber, and has given what he needs to give to his elect. Verse 9, and David said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a trap, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. So when I see people who call themselves names of different religions, when I see them slumbering and erring, I have to tell people that these people are in error and leading them into error. Or else I would be seeing people leading people down into a ditch and not say anything. Eh? Because the Most High has made their table a snare. Their table is where you eat from. So it's the word and the understanding that they are getting from the word. The Most High has made it a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them, because they do not seek out true righteousness. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back alway. The Most High has done that to all except those who are his elect and the saints who seek after his truth. Okay? So we have to understand that even in the awakening, the Most High does not give every truth to everybody, just throw truth like that. He does not. He does not. Because he allows the enemy to hide the light of the gospel from those who are lost. So if we are lost, he's going to allow the light of the gospel, what's happening here, to be hidden from us. All right. So the doctrines of the lost, as we were saying earlier, no baptism. The Christians have once saved, always saved. What else do they have? Jesus is God. Trinity. Our brothers have no baptism. We are not in the new covenant. Gentiles cannot be saved. Yahusha is Yahuwah, etc. These are doctrines of the lost. But how did they reach to this? 2 Corinthians 4 verse 1. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received the mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Alua deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Alua. So we have renounced dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Alua deceitfully. How can you handle the word of Yahuwah deceitfully? Religion. If you are interested in bringing people, bringing in numbers, if you are interested in what the people give you, as much as you're interested in teaching the people. Yeah? So people who form these organizations and collecting in, focusing on collecting in from the people, will handle the word deceitfully. Why? Because the truth of the scriptures is not good for the pocket. When you speak the truth, very few people want to hear. In order to get people to hear the truth, you have to speak what they want to hear. For example, we speak about fleeing out of the midst of Babylon. How many people want to hear that? You know, someone has spoken to me, and I never saw the person around for a long time. And the person said, hey, I got tired of hearing about fleeing out of the midst of Babylon. I'm going to be honest with you. That is why I stayed away. because the person said it went on the conscience, but the person was not prepared to do so. So the person stopped listening. If we stop talking about things like these, we get more people. But we cannot handle the word deceitfully. So if we're focused on the money and the numbers, then we would be focusing on telling people nice things and dropping some of the things. But it says, but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yahuwah. In the sight of Yahuwah. So our lives manifest the truth. Our lives manifest that which we teach. So we teach fleeing out of the midst of Babylon. We ourselves have done so, because we would be hypocrites if we are here telling people not to flee out of the midst of Babylon and we remain not taking action. That is hypocrisy, and there are some people who are doing this. That is hypocrisy, and the Most High hates hypocrites. But if our good news be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world, Hasatan, hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. Which believe not. And to believe, of course, means to do what? To take action, because faith without works is dead. So those who do not believe, their minds will be blinded, lest the light of this splendid gospel or good news of a Mashiach, who is the image of Yahuwah, should shine unto them. So they are blinded, so the good news of Hamashiach cannot shine unto them. This is why we speak so much about the Hebrew Israelites who focus on the law and do not focus on Hamashiach. The light of the good news of Hamashiach cannot shine through unto them, so they have to focus on something else. They cannot focus on Yahusha Hamashiach. For we preach not ourselves, but Hamashiach Yahusha the Master. That's what we preach. And ourselves, your servants, for Yahusha's sake. We are your servant for Yahusha's sake. For Yahuwah, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the splendid, of the esteem of Yahuwah in the face of Yahusha HaMashiach. So it's all focused on Yahusha HaMashiach. If they cannot see HaMashiach, then it means that the God of this world has blinded their minds. And people, these are the people who are teaching you about the awakening. These are the people we are following about this awakening. Today, someone messaged me and I couldn't respond to the message immediately. And the person asked me, who do you think the Gentiles are in the New Testament? Are they Israelites? Or are they Israelites and Gentiles? By the time I went to check it out, this person came. I can answer your question, and went speaking under my post that I posted. I posted today, let no man deceive you. And the Most High just manifested it just like that. This person who called himself a teacher came and started teaching that it is only Israelites it was referring to. Misleading the person. I said to the person, did you ask that person or did you ask me? You see how easily we are misled? Because my post said, let no man deceive you. And see, you're making him mislead you. This is what we're talking about. The false Hebrew awakening. So his awakening now is only Israelites will be saved, and that is what he's going to teach people. And in 1 Thessalonians 2, it tells you that we are filling up our sins to the utmost. And Yahuwah's wrath is upon us to the utmost, because we are filling up our sins always by refusing to speak to the Gentiles that they might be saved. False awakening from false teachers. So in this awakening, here's the problem. Everyone believes they are in the truth. Let me tell you something. Start with myself. I am not going to tell you that I am in truth. I am seeking truth. I want you to get it carefully. I am seeking truth, and when I seek and I find, I come and I speak it. I don't know everything. I don't have everything figured out. But what I have figured out, and what the Most High leads me, that's what I speak. The error is to think that we are in truth. In what truth? Truth is so deep. So deep. We start to hear truth, start to learn truth, and all of a sudden we think we have the truth. That is error. Jeremiah 31:33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharal. After those days, saith Yahuwah, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their Alua, and they shall be my people. Now, people now are thinking that they are in the fullness of this covenant. When it says in verse 34, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahuwah, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahuwah, for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. So we are still teaching our brothers. That means we are still not fully in truth. We are still teaching one another. So stop saying, I am in truth. You are not yet in the bond of the covenant, when you will no longer have to teach anyone. It's very important that we get this. So when you hear people out there, you have to try the spirit, because you do not know if we are in truth. You have to test what we say, because you don't know if we really are in truth. Because there's a saying that says the half has never been told. It's true. We are only getting into truth. It is when Yahushua HaMashiach comes, that is when we will be in the truth. Romans 11:25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Yasharal, until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. Blindness in part has happened to Yasharal, until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. Has the fullness of the Gentiles yet come in? Are we ruling the world? Have the Gentiles been toppled? Who is ruling this world? The fullness of the Gentiles has not yet come in. Donald Trump is there creating waves throughout the world. The Edomite nations still control the world. The United Nations is still dictating to the world. They are still setting up their Gentile New World Order. Fourth Industrial Revolution, Fourth Kingdom. The fullness of the Gentiles has not yet come in. This is something very important that we have to understand, lest we sit and we listen to people and let people deceive us. Okay? My Facebook post this morning that I placed on my profile. Where is it? I need a Bible. Where can I find a Bible? Well, I won't look at. In Matthew 24, when the disciples said to Hamashiach, what will the sign of the end of the age be? Let me get it on my pad here, so that I don't misquote the Most High and his people. It's Matthew 24. All right, sorry about that delay. I like to get everything fast because of time. Matthew 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? The very first thing that the Messiah spoke to them and said, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Hey? Now we're at the end of the age, and people are just allowing people to deceive them just like that. Take heed that no man deceive you. First thing he said. So that means that in this time, which is the end of the age, deception will be rife upon the earth. Why are we allowing people to deceive us? We teach here that if we are deceiving you, you can know. We post the scriptures, precept upon precept, line upon line. You can go, you can research them for yourselves. Our videos are there. You can search them for yourselves. And we break them down and we explain them. If you think otherwise, well, so be it. Okay? So blindness is going to happen until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. And so all Yasharal shall be saved. Eh? These are those people now who are telling you that all Yasharal actually means every single Israelite that was born. These are some of the teachings. Some say, I don't even want to tell you the doctrines that these people are teaching. This all Yasharal is speaking to the whole 12 tribes. A remnant from the 12 tribes shall be saved. So all Yasharal is referring to the reunification of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. That's what all Yasharal means. Because at that time when he was speaking, it was only Judah, the southern kingdom, that was there. So when he said all Yasharal, it means that we are going to be reunited with the northern kingdom. It's not speaking about the whole, every single Israelite that was born. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. So in the time of Shaul, Hamashiach had come. But in our time, he is going to return. Therefore, this teaching here about us being blind until the fullness of the Gentiles, we will only come out of our blindness when the deliverer comes out of Zion, when the Messiah returns. So until then, it is going to be a free-for-all, people deceiving us, and we being deceived, and some of us being deceivers knowingly and unknowingly, because we have been blinded, not knowing, and it is the Most High who takes away the blindness away from us. And we are not doing what the Most High says, so that the blindness can be taken away. And what did the Most High say to take away the blindness? It is faith in his Son, chasing after his Son. Very simple. And walking in obedience to his Torah. So, he left us the Ruach to guide us into all truth. So, truth is not ultimate. You don't just come into the way and say you are in truth. Do you have the Ruach living in you? If you have the Ruach dwelling in you, then you will be guided into all truth. Guided into all truth. The Ruach is given to us. Ephesians 1, 12 to 14 tells you the Ruach is given as a down payment on our inheritance until the redemption of the purchased possession, until the Messiah returns. That is when we will be brought into the bond of the covenant and will be taken out of our blindness. Very important, we're telling you this. I'm laying a foundation. This is not the teaching today. We are laying the foundation so we get an understanding. Why there is a false awakening, a fake awakening, because people do not understand this. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. But with all thy getting, get understanding. Proverbs 4, verse 7. So, John 16:13. Howbeit, when he, Ruach Amat, is come, or the Ruach of truth, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come. So it's the Ruach that's going to guide you into all truth. How does it work? The Most High set apart teachers. He said, your eyes shall see your teachers, and your ear will hear a word. When you turn to the right and turn to the left, this is the way, walk ye in it. So the Most High sets apart teachers. He gives you the Ruach. He gives the teachers the Ruach. He gives the gift of teaching to the teachers. The teachers teach you. The Ruach in you will be able to connect to what the teacher says, and that is how you learn. Simple. That is how you learn. That is how we learn our way out of the lies. And here is Ephesians 12. I spoke about it already, of how the Ruach Amat, the Spirit of Truth, is the down payment on our inheritance. Verse 14. Let me just read it. Verse 13. After that ye believed, I'm reading the underlined words. Ye were sealed with that Holy Spirit of promise. So you were sealed with the Holy Spirit, or Ruach HaKadosh, which is the earnest or the arabon or the down payment of our inheritance until the redemption of the purchased possession unto the praise of his splendor. It is when Hamashiach returns that we will be in truth. We are learning truth. Don't let anyone fool you that they are in truth and they have all the truth and they have all the answers. What does the word say to protect us? 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good. So many of us who think we are in truth are being deceived. Many of us who think we are in truth, we are absolutely being deceived. 2 Peter 2, I think I saw there. 13. Is it? Let me see. 1 to 3. Oh, sorry. 2 Peter 2, 1, 2, 3. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. You see, from last week we have been warning you about false teachers. From last week. Who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the master that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. One of the damnable heresies that is floating around today, Yahusha is Yahuwah. Damnable heresy. Because Yahusha is the son of Alua. The word says in 1 John, if you deny that Yahusha is the Messiah, the son of Alua, then you are not of Alua. That is the spirit of anti-Messiah or antichrist. Because you remove the office of the Messiah, and the office of the Messiah is a man who is anointed by the Most High to lead his people. The son of Alua, not Alua, the son of Alua. When you deny that, that is a damnable heresy. Even denying the master that bought them. So they deny Yahusha HaMashiach by putting up to be equal to the Most High, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways. This doctrine about Yahusha is Yahuwah, that came from where? Christianity. We have 2.8 billion Christians who believe this. Now our brothers are joining them. Many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And through covetousness. All right, covetousness is what caused Christianity to flourish, yeah? The church system, tithes and offerings, and sow a seed, yeah? Shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. This is prevalent in Christianity now, coming into our way. YouTube monetization is polluting the awakening. This is the false Hebrew awakening. 2 Timothy 3, 10 to 17. 2 Timothy 3, 10 to 17. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life. We used this a few weeks ago to show you the true set-apart leaders, teachers of the Most High, that you judge them by their lives, by their doctrine. You have fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, love, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch, at Iconium, and at Lystra. What persecutions I endured, but out of them all Yahuwah delivered me. Yea, and all that will live holy or godly in Hamashiach Yahusha shall suffer persecution. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. This is what we're talking about. Those who are evil and those who are seducers will wax worse. That is why you see more and more evil and unrighteousness coming up amongst those who are teaching. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. So you have to know of whom you learned these things. You have to judge the people who are teaching. It says, try the Ruach. You have to judge them, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Hamashiach Yahusha. Here we go with Hamashiach again. Faith in Hamashiach Yahusha, that is key. And he went on to say, all scripture is given by inspiration of Allah, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Allah may be perfect, truly furnished unto all good works. This is the plan. All right. So there are many false prophets that are gone out into the world. We spoke earlier about the Ruach of anti-messiah or antichrist. Now we've looked at this several weeks before because this is the spirit that is destroying believers today. This is the Ruach that is destroying believers today. The Ruach of anti-Mashiach, spirit of Antichrist. John 4, 1-6. Don't be tired of hearing this. You have to be reminded of it. 1 John 4. Beloved, believe not every Ruach, but try the Ruach out whether they are of Allah, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the Ruach of Allah. Every Ruach that confesseth that Yahushua HaMashiach is come in the flesh is of Allah. This is the Ruach of anti-Mashiach now. This is Yahushua, is Yahuwah, Jesus is God. Christianity is the religion of the anti-Messiah, the Antichrist. And our brothers are jumping on the bandwagon. Come in the flesh, as we've said over and over, is sarx, which means come as 100% human being. If you believe that, then you are born of Allah. The Spirit of the Most High is in you. If not, it says, and every Ruach that confesseth not that Yahushua Mashiach is come in the flesh is not of Allah. And this is that Ruach of anti-Messiah, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. Hey! This is what is happening today. You are of Allah, little children. Those of us who are here on Just a Word, who don't believe that Yahushua is Yahuwah. Because there might be some of you who still believe this garbage, this error, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world. So the Yahushua is Yahuwah people are of the world. Therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of Allah, because we do not believe that his son came as him. He that knoweth Allah heareth us. He that is not of Allah heareth not us. That is why some of them cannot accept it. They won't hear us, because they are not of Allah. Hereby know we the Ruach of truth and the Ruach of error. The Ruach of anti-Messiah is the Ruach of error. Yahusha is Yahuwah is brought to us courtesy of the Ruach of anti-Messiah or Antichrist, the Ruach of error. Therefore, if somebody is saying Yahusha is Yahuwah, and you are following that person, you are bound to be brought into error. These people are some of them who are driving the Hebrew awakening. This is the fake Hebrew awakening, the false Hebrew awakening. If somebody is teaching Yahusha is Yahuwah, then they are led by the Ruach of error, and if you are following them, then you will be led into error. Understand the thing. So we're going to look now at the teachings that will let you know who are on the right track. Because there are many people. Why is this thing not? There are many people. Oh, Facebook is still streaming. What a surprise. Anyway, there are many people who are where am I? I mean, Facebook has so surprised me. I got off track. So when I was the truth of being the dream. Yeah. So the place at which where the Bible is at the moment, there are certain things that we must be teaching. His chosen set apart people will be teaching certain things. Now the question is, the things that we teach, how many people are teaching it? For example, how many are teaching this end time prophecy? Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from Shamaim saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Every other week, you might hear, or 3 weeks, or 2 weeks, or a week, you might hear us come up with this. How many people are teaching it in its fullness? Because some people are teaching it and they say, oh, come out of her means come out of religion and whatever. Let me tell you something, people. This is one of the hardest things to teach and to accept. Because it actually means that the life that we have planted, that we have built for our entire lives in Babylon, we have to count it as dung. We have to give it up and move and go to somewhere that we don't know, with experiences that we don't know. Just like that. But guess what? That is faith. Faith. And we're going to look at faith as it relates to this and the truth. Yes? They do not want to accept this. You know, that does not go. Let me tell you something about religion nowadays. You see money, filthy lucre. You see comforts of Babylon. Many of those people who are teaching us, who are acting as if they are set apart, it's money and their motivation. The comforts of Babylon. They want to buy nice houses, nice cars. They want to continue to dwell in Babylon. So they're not going to teach the truth of this. They're not going to go into the words like I'm going to go now. That word come out of her. I'm going to show you what it means. How many of us have looked into the meaning of this word? How many of us were brave enough to look into it and say, come out of her. What does it mean? And dig into it. How many of us are going to dig in it? Only those who are seeking the truth to their own hurt. Because personally, to me, I follow the way of truth suicidally. When I say suicidally, I mean just if it means death, that's how it is. But I have to find the truth. You have to have that heart. You have to have that heart. Willingness to find the truth no matter what. So I don't follow this thing for comfort. If I was seeking comfort, I would be back in Jamrock. I'll be back in Jamaica. I love my daughter dearly. My children, I love them dearly, but most of them are adults. But the young one, she is a little concern of mine. I love her dearly because I want to pilot her through this wicked world. The others are adults making up their mind. But this little one, I would love to be with this little one. But when the Most High showed me I had to leave her, I had to leave her. And being here teaching, fleeing out of the midst of Babylon, knowing that apart from doing the Most High's will, my flesh would be rather dear with her. But I'm not led by the flesh, I'm led by the Ruach. And the Ruach says leave. And the Ruach says flee. And the Ruach showed me that I had to leave her. So what did I do? I have to leave her. We have to have a mind, people. How many people and teachers that you are following have the mind to give up everything to serve the Most High? You see, I'm saying this not to commend myself. I'm saying this because I'm concerned. I'm sitting every day and seeing people getting misled by people. And sitting there and can't do anything about it. I'm sitting there seeing people being misled by these teachers, false teachers. Wolves in sheep clothing. So when the word says come out of her, it is that word G1831. Let's look at the meaning of that word come. It's exerchomai from G1537 and G2064, to issue literally or figuratively, come forth, come out, depart out, depart out of, escape, get out, go abroad, go abroad, go abroad, go abroad, go away, go forth out, go hence, proceed forth, spread abroad, abroad. We, the people of the Most High, have been scattered in captivity. The Most High is telling you, when you come to see these things, come out of her, my people. And there are people that are teaching. These people, I'm telling you, these false teachers are teaching our people, it is not time to leave. Do not leave. The Most High is going to come for us. They pick out some verses in the chapters that appear to be saying. Last week we also looked at verses that appeared to be saying something. So they look at verses that appear to be saying something and ignore these verses, because the Most High hid the understanding of these things, so that in the end time he will raise up his teachers to open up the eyes of people, to let them see the truth when it is time to leave. Come out of her, my people. So those who are the chosen, set apart people of the Most High, he tells you, come out of Babylon. We did a teaching a few months ago why the United States is the Babylon that the Bible speaks about, the end time Babylon. Yes? And not only United States, wherever you are, we're going to show you that wherever you are, there is a queue that lets you know where you must go. Come forth, out, depart out, escape, go abroad, go away. How many people are teaching this? How many? This is what the end time true prophets, teachers, whatever you want to call them, of the Most High should be teaching. Now, on top of that, most are focused on the wrong thing. Most are not focusing on righteousness. Most of them are not focusing on righteousness. When you see these people who call themselves teachers, when you see them talking and whatever, and you see all the responses on their YouTube, you get to see that these people are not in righteousness. And that is not their focus. Their focus is on who you are. You're an Israelite, whatever, whatever, whatever. You're a Christian, so whatever. Most are not focused on the Messiah. People in the false religion of Christianity are focused on the false Messiah, Jesus Christ. Those of us who are in the way do not really put heavy focus on Yahusha. We put heavy focus on what? On the law. Most of us are not focused on Zion. The entire Christian religion of our people are focused on what? Rapture. They're not focused on Zion. Our brothers are not focused on Zion, because if they were focused on Zion, they would be like what the scripture says. They will ask their way to Zion with their faces to the word. How many are asking the way to Zion? This is how you know the truth. People are teaching people. And I'm not saying that I am the truth. I'm saying use this to judge us. Most of them are not focused, number 4, on fleeing Babylon. Because that is what our people are called to do. That is what we did when we were in Babylonian captivity under Jeremiah, under, what's his name? Yeah, in the time of Jeremiah and the time of Ezra. The time of Ezra, we were under Medo-Persian captivity, but we were in Babylon, because Medo-Persia had conquered Babylon. In those times, yes, they actually fled Babylon. We're going to show what fleeing Babylon entails. There's a very critical thing that fleeing Babylon. If you have watched so far, let me tell you something. You haven't seen anything else. It's when we go further now, you will get insights that I know most people have not looked into. All right, just stay with us. And most show no fear of Yahuwah. How can you have a set apart teacher and elect who they don't fear Yahuwah? The terrible, awesome Yahuwah. The great, awesome Yahuwah, who spares not his elect. How can you not fear him? Most of them do not fear him. So, the problem is, what are we lacking? Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. But with all thy getting, get understanding. What are we lacking? We are lacking understanding. The teachers today, most of us are lacking understanding, thinking we know. They say they see, therefore their sins remain. Blind leaders of the blind, many of us are. Because we cannot accept that we do not see and seek to see. That is why we have to keep digging deeper and deeper every week, and you'll see us every week, we go deeper and deeper and deeper. So we have to get understanding. It is understanding that is lacking. So when people come and say, oh, you don't have to flee out of Babylon, you don't have to, they lack understanding. Let's go and look at understanding the historic relationship between the Most High and Yasharal. This will let us know about why the Most High told us to flee Babylon. Because he told us to flee Babylon, but we don't know why. So because we don't know why, we come up with all sorts of hypotheses. That's what they call it. Hypotheses. Plural. Or hypothesis. I don't know. We come up with all sorts of hypotheses to say, this is why you must do it, this is why you don't do it. We don't understand why. Malachi 3 verse 6. Down. For I am Yahuwah, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. I am Yahuwah, I do not change. Our Father does not change. This is what this premise is based on. He does not change. So, we're going to look at the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32. We are going to look at the process of the Most High when he deals with his people to bring them into the land. The first stage of the process is why we flee Babylon in the first place, which is sojourning or pilgrimage. We're going to look into this, and people are going to see something and get understanding of what I'm saying. Why the Most High has called us to always be speaking about fleeing out of the midst of Babylon. Yes? Why it is not staying in that place where you are and wait on the Most High. Listen very carefully and follow this, please. The first stage is sojourning or pilgrimage. This stage is necessary to prepare us to get into the land. You do not just stay where you are and the Most High picks you up and brings you back into the land. Not go so. The Most High has to transform us through the processes that we are going through before we are ready to go into the land. Then, number 2, abundant blessings when he brings us into the land. So we sojourn first, which is what I am doing. Then he gives us abundant blessings when he brings us into the land. But guess what? When we go into the land, then we forsake the Most High. We're going to look at it in scripture. Then we forsake the Most High because we get our flesh starts ruling. And when the flesh starts ruling, we forsake the Most High. We go after other gods. We go after materialism, lusts and desires, and all sorts of sins start to overtake us. And the Most High would send his prophets to try to correct us. But the sin goes too far, and so far, that we lose control of ourselves. And righteousness is no longer our desire. Then, number 4, the Most High brings us judgment, which also includes sending us into captivity. Then after we have gone through the captivity, which is the stage that the world is at the moment, after we have gone through our captivity, then the Most High pities us and renders recompense to our enemies. We're going to look at this process and look how the process relates to Babylon and fleeing out of the midst of Babylon. Okay? So let's the first stage of the process, sojourning. Pilgrimage. Exodus 7 verse 16. Exodus 7 verse 16. So when we have the title, The Fake Hebrew Awakening, it's not that the Hebrew Awakening is fake, it is that it's being led by people to whom it is not given to lead. Yes? The wrong people are leading the awakening. False doctrines leading the awakening. Exodus 7 verse 6. And Moses and Aaron did as Yahuwah commanded. No, this is the wrong place. What am I doing with this? What did I say? Verse 16. Yeah. Verse 16. And thou shalt say unto him, Yahuwah Elohah of the Hebrews hath sent me unto thee, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear. When we are in captivity, right now we are not in Egyptian captivity, we are in Babylonian captivity. Egyptian captivity is the captivity of slavery. We are not on the plantations being enslaved and getting the whips on our backs. We are in Babylonian captivity, but we use the Egyptian captivity because of the principle that Yahuwah does not change. So what he does, when he takes us out of captivity, then he brings us into the wilderness for us to sojourn, for us to make our pilgrimage, where he perfects us. And if we refuse and reject the perfection, then we cannot enter the kingdom. If we overcome during the time, then he will bring us into the land. Very simple. Let's now go and see it in the book of Devarim. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 7 to 12. Deuteronomy 32, verses 7 to 12. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. We're going to look at the process in Deuteronomy 32. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Yasharal. For Yahuwah's portion is his people, Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. This is where it all begins, people. The next verse. He found him in a desert land and in the waste howling wilderness. That is where he found him. This is speaking about us coming out of Egypt, but it did not say he found him in Egypt. He found him in a desert land in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. This is necessary before we are brought into the land. This portion here, sojourning, is necessary before we are brought into the land. Because he found him, and I didn't even look at the meaning of found. Let me see if there's any implication to the meaning. The word found is to find or acquire, to appear to or exist now, to occur, to meet or to be present, to fall, befall, being catch, cause to come to, deliver, be enough. So many different things. To attain, to find or acquire, to occur, to meet or be present, to be able there. It doesn't really tell me anything special there. So he found him, meaning that we are actually discovered going through our sojourning. Yes? It is our sojourning that brings out the truth that is in us. We have to go through this sojourning process for the truth in us to come out. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings, so Yahuwah alone did lead him, and there was no strange Elohim with him. So this is why it's necessary. The Most High has to lead us. This is how he leads us, by taking us, putting us somewhere where we sojourn, and that is how we get to know him. Yes? Now in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 33, I think, this is something that I myself have lived. Ezekiel 20, verse 33. Many people are sitting awaiting the, what do they call it? What do they call it? It's 8:35, okay. Many people are sitting and awaiting the, what they call the wilderness, the second Exodus. I can tell you that already I have lived this second Exodus. As I live, saith Yahuwah Alua, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. When the Most High takes you out to sojourn, it's not a simple thing. It's not an easy thing. He says, with fury poured out will I rule over you. You have to look at the meaning of these words here. Will I rule over you? It means to reign, to induct causatively, inceptively to ascend the throne, causatively to induct into royalty. So, to set us apart, the Most High is going to reign over us in fury. It's not going to be an easy road. It's not going to be easy. So sitting in Babylon, going to the routine, going to the same life that we lived, where is this? This is not there. He says, and I will bring you out from the people. And this word, bring you out, to go in a great variety of sense, literal to proximate, to break out, to bring forth, to carry out, to come abroad, out there at ends, be condemned, departing, draw forth. So this word here can mean anything from the Most High bringing us to us ourselves, going by ourselves. Cause to go abroad. Yeah? Many people don't really look into these words. If I could put it on the screen. Let me try to put it on the screen, because people might think that I'm telling a lie. Where is it? Ezekiel 20:34, we said. 34. Where are I? Baba. Surely, but stretch. Oh, and will I rule over you? Says rule we're looking at, right? Yeah, no, not the rule. No, where were we? 34, yeah. And I will bring you out from the people. Bring you out. It's the word yatsah. And it means to go, causatively bring out, causatively, bring out, causatively, which means he can cause us to be brought out in a great variety of applications, literal, figuratively, direct, and approximate, after, appear, assuredly, bear out, he can bear us out, begotten, break out, bring forth up, out, carry out, come abroad, out thereat, therewith, come out, come thereat, come without. So we ourselves can come abroad with the meaning of this name. Be condemned, departing, draw forth in the end, escape. So he can also cause us to escape. Yes? Get away, forth, get away hence, get away out, able to cause to let go, to go abroad. You see that? Go forth on. So it can have all of these meanings. So when he says, I will bring you out from the people, It does not necessarily mean that we sit and wait on him. Yes? It can mean us also going out. And when we are going out of Babylon, he tells us to what? Come out, which is to flee, to take ourselves out. And will gather you from out of the countries. Gather there means to assemble together, to gather selves together. This is another thing. Let me get the gather. Gather, H6908, Karbats, to grasp, that is collect, assemble selves, so we assemble ourselves together. Gather, bring together, bring selves together. Gather or bring selves together. Gather or bring selves up. Heap, resort, surely take up. So this gather can mean us gathering ourselves together. Us coming out and gathering ourselves together, as it says in Zephaniah chapter 2. Gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with few report out. In this phase that the Most High is doing, this is a serious phase because we are talking about going into the kingdom. All of the foolishness has to stop. And I will bring you out into the wilderness of the people. The wilderness of the people there. Very important that we understand this again. The word people, H5971, a people as a congregated unit, specifically a tribe as of those of Yasharal. Hence, collectively troops or attendants, figuratively a flock, folk, men, nation, people. So we can gather ourselves as a congregated unit. This is the wilderness of the people. It's not a literal wilderness with bushes and all of that. It is the wilderness of the people where people will be put together and pitted with their different personalities together. And I can tell you that I have gone through this. Not a nice experience. At all. At all. Unless there are certain things that are involved which we'll look at probably another time. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Mitzrayim, so will I plead with you, saith Yahuwah Alua. Similarly to when he pleaded with us in Egypt, he's going to do it again. Here is the danger. And I will cause you to pass under the rod. The rod there means a stick for punishment. I need to look at you to look at these words so you get understanding of what the Most High is saying. 876:26, Shebet, meaning to branch off, a Sion. That is literally a stick for punishing, writing, fighting, punishing, ruling, walking, etc. Or figuratively a clan, correction, dart, rod, scepter, staff, tribe. So what he's saying here, he will cause you to pass under the stick, and he will bring you into the bond of the covenant. But not all will be brought into the bond of the covenant. Under this rod of correction, under this rod that is there for punishing, under this rod that is going to rule you, yes, he will bring you into the bond of the covenant. But not all will be brought into the bond of the covenant. Because, verse 38, and I will purge out from among you the rebels. I will purge out from among you the rebels. What does it mean to purge out? Bam. H1305, barar. A primitive root to clarify, that is brighten, examine, select, make bright, choice, chosen, cleanse, be clean, clearly polished, show self pure, purify, purge out. What he will do with the experience is to cleanse us, and not only cleanse us so that we be clean, but he also is examining us to select those who will be brought into the bond of the covenant. It is a selection. So those who are rejected cannot go and turn and go to the leaders and say, hey, leader, you caused me to be rejected. The Most High says he will be the one who will do it. He says, I will cause. I will plead. I will take you out. I. So he is the one who will be selecting. He is the one who will be rejecting. He is the one who will be accepting. Who will he be purging out? The rebels. The word rebels, H4775, to rebel, rebellious. So if at any time we go through our sojourning, our pilgrimage, and we are rebellious, we are rebels, we will be purged out. Simple. And them that transgress against me. The word transgress there is pasha, to the idea of expansion, to break away from just authority. Hey, where am I? To break away from just authority. That is trespass, apostatize, quarrel, offend, rebel, revolt, transgress. Hey, when you are brought out, quarrels, trespassing, breaking away from just authority. If the Most High set someone over you to lead you, you gather together and you come together and you break away from that authority, quarreling, trespassing, the Most High says you're not going to enter into the land. He will purge you out. Not the leader who is there, it's the Most High. I will bring them forth out. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn. So we were sojourning in the New World. Some were sojourning from Jamaica, America, England, wherever. We were sojourning as Israelites. You will take us out of the country where we sojourn, but we shall not enter into the land of Yasharal. And if when we come out and we go into the wilderness of the people, and we are sojourning and we are rejected, the Most High says, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. You cannot go and blame it on the person who the Most High said to lead you. The Most High says emphatically here, ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. In other words, Yahuwah said, you shall know that I am the one who did it. I am the one who did it. Hey. Oh boy. And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. Where is it? There it is. I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Yasharal, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. Anyway, let's continue with the process. So that is a process. That is a process. This is a process now where you, who desire the kingdom, you have to go through. It's not an easy road. Some see the glamour and the glitter and they think a better rose. Who feels it knows. That's the song. Oh, Buju Banton did that song. It's a perfect song for now. Not an easy road. They see the glamour and the glitter. They see the kingdom. They hear about the kingdom. Yes? And think it is a bed of rose. And I can tell you, who feels it knows. All right. So let's continue with the second part of the process. This sojourning is what we're going to look at further. Because this is what you do when you flee out of the midst of Babylon. Now, after sojourning, abundant blessings in the land, Deuteronomy 32, verses 13 to 14. Let's go. Deuteronomy 32, verse 13. Come on, man. 13 to 14. He made him ride on the high places of the earth. This is now when he brings us into the land and gives us all the blessings, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine, and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat, and thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. These are the barakah that the Most High gives us. But, Jeremiah 32, verses 21 to 22. Let's look at the process again in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 32. I said? Yeah, 21. And hast brought forth thy people Yasharal out of the land of Mitzrayim with signs and with wonders, and with a strong hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with great terror. Not an easy road. Yahuwah don't play. And has given them this land, which thou didst swear to their fathers to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. This is it. After bringing them out with a stretched out arm and with great terror, this is the wilderness of the people, then he will give us the land. So the land does not come easy. Righteousness does not come easy. Yes? It is a land flowing with milk and honey. Abundant blessings in the land. But the process continues. After he gives us all of this, then guess what? We forsake the Most High. We forsake the Most High. Verse 15. But Jeshurun waxed fat. So Jeshurun is given the pure blood of the grape and all of the barakah, but he waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook Alua which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. This is the stage after we go into the land. The reason the Most High says that he will bring us into the wilderness of the people again, the reason he says we have to flee out of Babylon and sojourn as pilgrims, it is because he wants to transform us through his Ruach. This time we will have the Ruach in us. Very important now. This is a different time from coming out of Egypt, because this time we have his Ruach. We can, most of us don't, but we can have his Ruach in us if we so desire. We can have his Ruach in us, which will guide us into all truth and will enable us to walk out his truth in righteousness. The problem is, most people who say they flee out of Babylon have not taken themselves away from the impurity and uncleanness of Babylon, and they leave Babylon the same way and come out of Babylon with the same luggage of sin, sinfulness, and sinful tendencies, and they come in without the Ruach of Yahuwah, and they think that they are led and filled with the Ruach of Yahuwah. Until going through the things, then everything starts to show. Yes? So the Most High is giving us the Ruach now, so that this time we can overcome and we can walk in his righteousness, and so be ready to go into the kingdom. Because if we go into the kingdom walking in his Ruach, then he's going to bring us into the bond of the covenant. Yes? And then we will not even sin anymore. Because then we shall not teach every man and his neighbor, say, know Yahuwah, we shall all know him. So there is a point where the Most High is going to pour out everything on us, but not now. Now we have the time of overcoming. We have to prove ourselves. We have to prove our desire and our ability to reject the things of this world. Love not the world, neither the things of the world. So when we prove that, the Most High now will do the rest and cement us in the bond of his covenant. Yeah? But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook Alua, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. So the Most High took us and he treated us so good. Ungrateful human beings. That's how we are. Ungrateful. The Most High took us and treated us so good. And then we get cocky. We get cocky. Verse 16. They provoked him to jealousy with strange Elohim. With abominations provoked they him to anger. With all sorts of abominations. False Elohim. Forgetting who brought them out of Egypt. They sacrificed unto devils and not to Alua. To Elohim whom they knew not. To new Elohim that came newly up. Whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten Alua that formed thee. This is the stage. After we have been Barak in the land. Okay? This is the stage the Most High is ensuring that we do not return to. Jeremiah 32, 23. Jeremiah 32. Did we just look at that? Sounds familiar. 23. And they came in and possessed it, but they obeyed not thy voice, neither walked in thy law. They have done nothing of all that thou commandest them to do. Therefore thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them, which is the next phase that we are going into. The Most High brings evil on us for our transgressions. So let's go to the next phase. Let's go to the next phase, which is phase 4, judgment, including captivity. Follow me, people, and understand this. When we understand this, then we are good. We will understand why he says flee out of Babylon, all of that. That is what we're going to do today. Why? This call to flee, why should I flee? Why should I even? Deuteronomy 32, I think I said verse 19. And when Yahuwah saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not Alua. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. It is why the Gentiles were allowed to take over our scriptures and even to mimic us, calling themselves children of Israel. They call themselves Jews. Verse 22. For a fire is kindled. Did I say go to 22? 26. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap mischiefs upon them. I will spend my arrows upon them. They shall be burnt with hunger. Curses, right? And devoured with burning heat, and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, with the poison of serpents of the dust. The sword without, and terror within, shall destroy both the young man and the virgin, the suckling also, with the man of gray hairs. Every one of us will go into punishment. I said I would scatter them into corners. Here we go with captivity as part of it. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Captivity is next. Jeremiah 9, 13 to 16. Jeremiah 9, 13 to 16. And Yahuwah saith, because they have forsaken my law, which I set before them, and have not obeyed my voice, neither walked therein, but have walked after the imagination of their own heart, and after Baalim, which their fathers taught them, Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Sabaoth, the Elohim of Yasharal, Behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink, bitter. I will scatter them also among the heathen, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, and I will send a sword after them, till I have consumed them. That's the other part of the process, people. When we go into these abominations, the Most High turns the heat upon us. We're just showing the process. We're going to go deeper. Stay with us, please. So the fifth part of the process now is when the Most High pities us and renders recompense to our enemies. He pities us and renders recompense to our enemies. Deuteronomy 32, verse 36 to 43. 36 to 43. For Yahuwah shall judge his people. So that is what he's doing, judging us. And repent himself for his servants when he seeth that their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left. So the Most High now is going to be so concerned about us. He is going to feel sorry for us after we've gone through our period of punishment. That is what is happening today. And he shall say, Where are their Elohim, their rock in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no Elohim with me. I kill and make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. He's declaring himself that now we realize who he is. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whet my glittering sword, and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies, and will reward them that hate me. These are the nations he's talking about now. After he has sent us among the nations in captivity, he is going to turn his wrath on the nations and take his wrath away from us. I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives, from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people. For he will avenge the blood of his servants, and will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people. This verse is saying a whole lot. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people. These are the Gentiles. Someone asked me, remember I was talking about if when he talks about Gentiles in the New Testament, if it is only Israelites. Madness, lies. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people. Why should they rejoice? There's a colon there. For he will avenge the blood of his servants, who are his people, and will render vengeance to his adversaries, to our enemies, our captors, and will be merciful unto his land and to who? His people. So you rejoice with his people because your entrance into the land is to cleave to his people. Simple. You cleave to his people because his salvation is to his people. His vengeance is upon the adversaries, the children of your people, Gentiles, who have forsaken and afflicted his people. Simple. So this is a phase that we are in. But before we reach to this phase of him avenging the blood of his servants and rendering vengeance to his adversaries, he tells us, come out from among them. Come out. Because if you stay among them, you are going to be partakers of their sins. Therefore, if you partake of their sins, you are going to receive of their plagues. Simple. So Babylon is to be destroyed, but before Babylon is to be destroyed, he said, come out. Because if you stay in there, I am going to judge you as partaking of her sins. If you partake of her sins, you are going to receive of her plagues. That is why it says, remove out of the midst of Babylon. Come out of her, my people. Go forth out of Babylon. Yes? Go out of Babylon. Anyway, let's continue. Isaiah 30, verse 18, the same thing, of him having mercy upon our people and rendering recompense unto our enemies. I try to give two, so that there be two witnesses for each of this. And therefore will Yahuwah wait, that he may be gracious unto you. And therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For Yahuwah is an Elohim of judgment. Barak are all they that wait on him. Yes? For the people shall dwell in Zion. At Jerusalem thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry. When he shall hear it, he will answer thee. This is the end that we are actually in. But before, as I said before, but before he renders recompense, he tells us to come out of her and seek Zion. This is something that we have to understand. Those people are saying, oh, the Messiah is going to come and pick us up. Oh, it's not time yet for us to come out. Babylon has fallen. There is no time limit. We know now that we are at the last days, in the last times, and it is now critical. But if you came out before, there is nothing wrong, because Babylon has fallen. Jeremiah 51, verse 1 to 10. Now is when it is critical to come out. Jeremiah 51, verse 1. Thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. We see Mr. Donald Trump trying to empty the place of immigrants. There are a lot of implications to this thing of immigrants. I hope I remember to expound on it later. But one of the implications of these immigrants is that many who were allowed to come into the country are fanners. These are foreigners who will cause trouble when the day of trouble comes upon Babylon. So you see everything that Trump is doing, everything. A day of trouble is going to come when these immigrants, he's not going to be able to get out all of them. These immigrants are going to rise up. A lot of them are going to rise up against Babylon in that day. The Most High has made sure that he has set up all sorts of things perfectly. We find Trump, for example, today, going against his very allies. We hear him saying that he wants Canada. He wants Panama, a possible fight there with Panama. He says China has Panama. He wants to fight against Panama. He says he wants Greenland. I hear that France has mobilized its troops, that they are going to send troops there in order to defend Greenland. His very own friends is putting against them. There is trouble that is coming. I want you to understand this, that this Trump thing is not a simple thing. Yes? And the other members of European Union who are his allies are thinking of sending troops to help Denmark, who owns Greenland, to protect their land from Trump. Yes? So when all of these troubles come, these same immigrants are going to turn on Babylon. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men. Destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Yasharal hath not been forsaken. So the Most High is telling us here, get out of that place. Get out of that place. For Yasharal hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his Alua of Yahuwah Sabaoth, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Yasharal. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahuwah's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So if you look at the meaning of the word flee, it is not telling you you must sit in Babylon and wait on the Most High. Flee, age 51:27. Nous, a primitive root to flit, that is vanish away, subside, escape. You see how many times we're seeing escape? Causatively chase, impel, deliver, abate, away, be displayed, make, to flee away. Fleeing, put to flight, hide, lift up a standard. So flee out of the midst of Babylon. Yeah? So this now, midst, let's look at the meaning of midst, age 44:80. Min, properly a part of, hence from out of in many senses. So escape out of Babylon, above, after, among, at, because of, by reason of, from, among. So escape from among Babylon, in, neither, nor, out of, since, then, through. Yeah? And deliver every man his soul. Then here it goes now. Be not cut off in her iniquity. Do not be cut off in her iniquity. What does cut off mean? By implication, to be astonished, to be dumb, to stop, also to perish, to cease, to be cut down, to be cut off. Anyway, I can't go through all of this. Yes? To be dumb, by implication, to be astonished, to be cut off. In her iniquity, in her sins. So if you are there in her sins, you will be considered to be partaking of her sins. For this is the time of Yahuwah's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Let me continue. Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahuwah's hand that made all the nations drunken. All the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Hold for her, make balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. People are saying that this deportation is a manifestation of this, everyone going to his own country. But what is the significance of going into her own country? What is the significance of going into her own country? Let me see if it is down further down here. Let me see. Let me see there. Let me see if it's there. I'm gonna show the significance. No, it's not in this chapter. But let me just say it. I'll probably reach upon it. The significance of one going into his own country is those of us who know who we are. We as the children of Yasharal. I know that my father were brought to Jamaica in captivity. But that is not my country. Yasharal is my country. Mount Zion is my home. So when I am going everyone into my own country, I have to do what? Ask the way to Zion. I have to seek the way to my home. Because the place where I grew up thinking was my home is the place of my captivity. So Donald Trump now is throwing the people out. The people have to ask their way to Zion, realizing that that place is not for them. And you who are there, African Americans that they call you, you now have to start seeking and start seeing, hey, this is not my home, and start asking the way to Zion. With your faces thitherward to go into a covenant with the Most High, so it brings you into your home, which is Mount Zion, and gives you the land of Yasharal. Okay? So every man is going into his own country, For us to go into our own country, the Most High says you have to come out of her, you have to flee Babylon, you have to remove out of Babylon, you have to come out of her and ask the way to Zion. The Most High does not make it easy. Reason being, we just look at the process. The process is when we reach into the land with our dirty selves, we turn against the Most High. The Most High does not want this to happen again. So what? He wants you, through faith, to reject this world, to seek after the land, and it does not make it easy for you because you have to have this desperate desire, fighting to go into the land, so that when you go into the land, you will appreciate it and not do what our foreparents did, which is to turn against the Most High and start going after idols. Anyway, let me continue. Yahuwah hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion. This was what I'm waiting for, and it is at verse 10. Let us declare in Zion the work of Yahuwah, our Aluah. So for us, going into our own country is us declaring, going, seeking Mount Zion. The place where they gave us as home is not our home. So now you see Trump doing this. Now is the time. Ask your way to Zion. With your faces still upward. Anyway, let me continue. So before he tells us to come out of her and seek Zion. But he also tells us to come out of her and do what? Ask the way to Zion. So seeking Zion, you are going to ask the way to Zion because he knows in the end, Zion is going to be desolate. Because Zion is desolate, you are not going to know where Zion is, so you'll have to ask the way to Zion, and he will direct and show his elect the way to Zion. Revelation 18:4, come out of her, my people. Let me look at it again. Revelation 18, chapter 4 is the requirement. Let me get it just to read it again. And I like to read it exactly because my memory is not that good with these things. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. So when you come out, where do you go? That is the question. Where do you go? It's not Jeremiah 50, verse 1 to 10. Let me find the verse. Wrong verse I got. Sorry about that. Yeah, Jeremiah 50, verse 5. And I read it and didn't even realize that I read it. So many things to be thinking about at the same time. Verse 4, in those days and in that time, saith Yahuwah, the children of Yasharal shall come. Shall come. They shall come. And you know where I'm headed. Come. The word come, H935, bo. To go or come. To bring forth, come to pass, cause to come out, cause to come upon, depart, yes, cause to enter into, entrance, lead, lift up. So the come there, call to carry, bring forth, bring to pass. So it is an action on their part. So the children of Yasharal, they themselves shall come. They and the children of Yasharal together, going and weeping. Now, this verse here is very important because they are going and weeping, and they shall go and seek Yahuwah, their Aluah. Seek there means to search out. Let me get the meaning of search, because I'm going to tell you what I am getting from this verse. To seek H24 bar cash, to search out by any method, specifically in worship or prayer. By implication, to strive after, ask, beg, beseech, desire, enquire, get, make, inquisition, procure, make request, require, seek for. There is nothing in this verse, in this word, let me get it down, that says that they will be sitting in Babylon waiting on the Most High. In those days and in that time, saith Yahuwah, the children of Yashua shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going, and weeping, and they shall go, and seek, after, seek, search out, Yahuwah their Alua. And how will they seek or search after Yahuwah their Alua? They shall ask the way to Zion. Ask there is Sha'al, which means to inquire, by implication to request, by extension to demand, ask, beg, borrow, lay to charge, consult. Yes? Let me get more of it. People, when you look into these things, you get understanding of what the Most High is telling us about. English language cannot give us the truth. But we have our teachers today just using straight English language, understanding and thinking and using that as gospel as the truth. Shall inquire, to make requests, by extension to demand. These are all the things that they shall do. Ask, consult, on, beg, borrow, lay to charge, consult, demand, desire, earnestly, enquire, greet, obtain, leave, lend, pray, request, require, salute, straightly, surely wish. So, asking the way to Zion, it is not sitting and waiting on the Most High, people. What is wrong with us? Hey. Now I need to plug in this to get it charged. Only hope the current comes back soon. All right. Yes. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward. So their face is bent towards Zion. When your face thitherward, that means you're going towards Zion, asking your way, inquiring, saying, come and let us join ourselves to Yahuwah in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. It is not Yahuwah coming into Babylon and picking us up and going. It is us having the desire. It is us having the desire and volunteering to do it. We shall go and weep and ask and seek. People sent me these things, boy, I'm telling you. Because people do not want to make the sacrifice that it takes. And the word says, I beseech ye therefore, brethren, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, kadosh, and acceptable unto Alua, which is our reasonable service. Reasonable service. This is our reasonable service. Hey. My people, I just speak that which the word says. That is it. It is the truth. I speak the truth. I seek the truth. I tell you the truth. I speak no lie. Yada Yahuwah. Yada Yahuwah. Now, everything that happens to me during the week, you know, it's like a culmination. The teachings are a culmination of whatever happens to me during the week. And during this week, I'm starting to see the number 9, the number 10, number 19 rather. The number 9 has been a fixture with me, especially since around July. Was it last year? Number 9, which is the finality of the judgment. Number 19, I have been seeing for this week. And when I realized the number 19, because I don't chase after numbers, but sometimes everywhere you look, you see this number. You're like, what is this? Sometimes the Most High giving us heads up, giving me heads up as to give confirmation as to what he's saying to me. So the number 19, I did a teaching on our website. Why am I seeing these numbers? These numbers are numbers that I've been seeing since 2000 and about 17, 18, 19, I don't know, 2000 and something. Before the 20s, I think. The number 19. We're going to see what it has to do with this teaching here. Number 19 is a combination of number 10 and number 9. The number 10 is a number of Yahuwah's perfection. Of course, these are based on biblical numbers, or the numbers are used based on the thing that the premise that Yahuwah does not change. Again, let me say to people, I do not chase numbers. I do not follow numbers or anything like that. The numbers come up and they match up with my experience, then I speak about them. Right? So number 10 is Yahuwah's perfection based on our choices. If we make the right choice, then we are number 10. Because number 10 is right between 9 and 11. Number 9 is a number of what? Finality of the judgment. Number 11 is the actual judgment, execution of the judgment. Number 10 comes in between. What is your choice? Because number 9 also means the gift of the rock. The fruit of the rock. 9 fruits of the rock. 9 components of the fruit of the rock. So if you make the right decision, then you will be walking in the fruit of the rock. If you make the wrong decision, then you will be liable for judgment. That's the number 9, 10, numbers 9, 10, and 11. So number 10 and plus number 9 is equal to 19. So number 19 usually denotes the Most High's perfect order in regard to his judgment in the Bible. But what does the number 19 mean in relation to Yasharal? The United Kingdom split into 2 pieces after the death of Solomon. Do you see how many times during today's teaching we have been talking about the reunification of the northern and southern kingdom? Even when we spoke about all Israel shall be saved, we spoke about it. Okay? The coming together of the dry bones of the whole house of Israel, Ezekiel 37 as well, is about this reunification. This is the number 19. And we read earlier, just a while ago, we read that the house of Israel and the house of Judah shall go together, asking their way to Zion, number 19 again. So the United Kingdom split into 2 pieces after the death of Solomon. The piece referred to as Yasharal, or the northern 10 tribes, had Jeroboam, who caused Israel to sin. I have to say it because the Bible says it every time they mention Jeroboam. The piece refers to, let me go again. The piece refers to as Yasharal, or the northern 10 tribes, had Jeroboam, who caused Israel to sin, as their first king, 930 to 909 BC. Judah's first king was Rehoboam, 930 to 913. Including Jeroboam, Yasharal was ruled by 19 kings, before Yahuwah allowed them to be conquered by the Assyrians and taken out of the land as captives due to their many sins against the great, eternal, almighty, Ancient of Days. So the number 19 signals his perfect order in judgment. That means the achievement of his perfect will. It has to do with the prophetic fulfillment of the rejoining of Yasharal into one kingdom. This is the joining of the house of Yasharal with the house of Judah in one kingdom under one king, Yahusha HaMashiach, which brings us back to where we just came from, Jeremiah 50 verses 4 to 5 and Ezekiel 37 verse 22, when it says, "And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yasharal, and one king shall be king to them all, and there shall be no more 2 nations, neither shall they be divided into 2 kingdoms any more at all." That is the number 19. And this is what the teaching is embodying and showing today. So we're going to look at the 19 faithful heroes in the Bible, what it says of them, and what it has to do with pilgrimage, with being strangers and pilgrims, with being sojourners at this time. Watch this very carefully. So first, let us look at the danger of Babylon's beast system. There is a system that is coming up on this earth, the beast system of Babylon. What page is this thing on? The danger of Babylon's beast system. The Shepherd of Hermas, chapter 50, and this is at page 55. This is called a parable of two cities. The danger of Babylon's beast system. It is very surprising how this little thing here explains to us the beast system of Babylon so clearly that is being set up today. I want you to look at it very carefully. This is Hermas actually speaking. And he said, chapter 50, verse 1. He spoke to me. You know, he said, that you who are servants of Alua are living in a foreign country. I want you to listen to this very carefully. So you who are servants of Alua are living in a foreign country, for your city is far from this city. Now this includes both the children of Israel and the Gentiles who want to join to Yasharal. The place where you are living is a foreign country. And you're going to see it to be more of a foreign country when they set up their beast system in that country, that place that you grew up in. Oh, I'm an American and proud to be American. When they set up that beast system and require you, he calls it all, small and great. They require you to take that mark and to take that number. You are going to see that you are in a foreign country. Us, the children of Israel, we already know that wherever we are scattered, we are foreigners because we are sojourners. Yes? You who are the servants of Allah are living in a foreign country, for your city, which is Zion, Jerusalem, is far from this city. If therefore you know, he said, your city in which you are destined to live, why do you prepare fields and expensive possessions and buildings and useless rooms here? So why are you focusing on Babylon? If you are preparing these things for this city, you obviously are not planning to return to your own city. You're not planning to return to Zion. So when Trump is kicking out people here and there, you know that it is time for you to find your own city, because these places are not our homes. Foolish and double-minded, bitter and miserable person, do you not realize that all these things are foreign to you and under someone else's authority? New World Order, one world government is going to be under someone else's authority. So those people who are from Jamaica, for example, living in Jamaica or going back to Jamaica, when the authority comes, the question is, did the Most High tell you that you should stay in Jamaica? Is Jamaica your home? If you understand who you are as an Israelite, you realize that that is not your home, that is the land of your captivity. Why are you dwelling there or being prepared to spend all of your life there? Why are you not seeking Zion? Why are you not asking your way to Zion with your faces thitherward? For the master of this city will say, I do not want you to live in my city. Instead, leave this city because you do not conform to my laws. So when they come and tell you that you have to have this thing in your arm and you have to have their number to live in that place that you call home, and have it up as your place, you might own the land or everything. When they come and tell you, hey, you cannot buy or sell unless you have this. which means you cannot live there because you will not be able to own anything. And then when they come to that stage, they are going to be so oppressive, they are going to make sure that you cannot have any lot nor part in that place. So the question is, what are you doing there? So you who have fields and dwellings and many other possessions, what will you do with your field and your house and all the other things you have prepared for yourself when you are expelled by him? For the master of this country has every right to say to you, either conform to my laws or get out of my country. Take my mark, or we're going to lock you up. Take my mark, or you cannot do this. Yeah? So what are you going to do since you are subject to the law of your own city? When they enact fully, because they are now organizing where every country of this world, every nation in this world is going to come with the number of his name, the number of his authority, the number of the authority of the United Nations over your life. When they come with that number, which the Bible tells you, if you take it, you are damned. When they come with it and say you cannot partake of our system unless you take this number, what are you going to do? Because you are subject to the law of that city. Let me get something. For the sake of your fields and the rest of your possessions, will you totally renounce your own law and live according to the law of this city? So for the sake of the possessions that you have, for the sake of living in the midst of Babylon, for the sake of partaking of this new world order system, this beast system, will you reject your own law? Will you reject the law of the Most High? Will you reject Zion and Jerusalem and bow to the law of the new world order? Take care. It may not be in your best interest to renounce your law, for if you should want to return to your city, you will certainly not be accepted because you have renounced the law of your city and will be shut out of it. So, if you come out of Babylon, yes, renouncing the law of that city, you have to take care. Because if you come out and the Most High purges you out and you go back there, then they may reject you, especially since they are coming with this number. So imagine you flee out of the midst of Babylon and the Most High rejects you and you have to go in there and they say, hey, mark, number. That's the only way you can partake of our system. So take care as one living in a foreign land and do not prepare for yourself one thing more than is necessary to be self-sufficient, and be prepared so that whenever the master of this city wants to expel you because of your opposition to his law, you can leave his city and come to your own city and joyfully conform to your law, free from all insult. You see? So you have to turn to Yahuwah with what? With your whole heart and reject Babylon totally. Take care, therefore, that you serve Yahuwah and have him in your heart. Do Aluah's works, remembering his commandments and the promises that he made, and trust him to keep them if his commandments are kept. So your whole heart has to be focused on Yahuwah, renouncing Babylon. Okay? So let me continue. We were speaking about the number 19. Let's look at the 19 faithful heroes that are in the book of Hebrews chapter 11. We'll just go from 8 to 16. All right? Because what we want to do is to show what inspiration these 19 faithful heroes actually give us. Hebrews 11, we're going to show one thing that is highlighted there that we are being called to partake of today. 8 to 16, yeah. 11. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went. Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after. Why is this not charging? Let me see something. Oh yes, it's charging. What I want to say before this is that our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, were called to sojourn in a land that they were after to receive for an inheritance. It is the same calling that we have. So let's look at Abraham's calling. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went. This is the same call that we are made to make. We are called to make now in fleeing out of Babylon. To go into a place that we should inherit into the land, not knowing where we went. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as I am doing right now. As in a strange country, as I am doing right now. Dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, as I have done already. Except not with my children, the heirs with him of the same promise, but which other people have done here with their children. The heirs with him of the same promise. So we are also heirs of the promise. The Most High is calling us to make the same transition. We have to understand the scriptures. For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Allah. We just spoke about moving and trying to find your city. Abraham was looking for a city whose builder and maker is Allah. So am I. Are you looking for that city, or are you content in the city in which you are? What when the ruler of that city tells you their stipulation, and then the Most High has locked you out of your very own city because he gave you time to go to the city and you did not? For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Allah. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. So this is me. I judge the Most High faithful to say, flee out of the midst of Babylon, and he showed me where to go. Many people who have gone to different places, the Most High has not showed them where to go. He showed me specifically, and when I was lagging, he sternly showed me and scared me my wits and told me to go. He showed me the arrow plainly and clearly. Go. Move now. And so I left as soon as possible. Yes? So I judge him faithful that what he has called me and told me to do, that is his truth. He's not a liar. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. This is our calling, people. You don't get called into the end time kingdom in comfort. I sit back at home. Oh, Yahuwah is going to come for me. You can go on, Kazakh. You can chat your foolishness. Hey, I'm waiting on Yahuwah. He will come and pick me up. Yeah? I am assured of the Most High that he is faithful. So I am here, a stranger and pilgrim on the earth. We're going to look at the meaning of pilgrim, by the way. For they that say such things, such as I, declare plainly that they seek a country. I am seeking a country. Are you? Telling people that they must stay in Babylon and everything. People are seeking a country here and you are telling people that they're doing something wrong. The Bible tells you about the people in Hebrews 11 are people of faith. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. And we are displaying the faith of these people and you are telling us that we are wrong. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country, from whence they came out, if I was mindful of Jamaica, they might have had opportunity to have returned. So if my mind is ever on Jamaica, the Most High say, hey, your mind is on Jamaica. Okay, go back to Jamaica. Which I don't want. Yes? The only way I would go back to Jamaica, I'm telling you plainly, is if the Most High sends me there to do his work. Or if I have failed him and he goes. He sends me. But in my intent, it is not in my intent. So that is why it's my heart to continue fervently to serve the Most High and to diligently seek him. And many people see you diligently seek him and think that you are on the wrong path and you're unrighteous and you're this. Yes, the Most High be the judge. They that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. I cannot be looking back on where I'm coming from. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have an opportunity to return. But now they desire a better country, Zion, Jerusalem, Yasharal. That is an heavenly, wherefore Alua is not ashamed to be called their Alua, for he hath prepared for them a city, New Jerusalem. That's it. So these are men of faith who sojourned. So these were strangers and pilgrims, but where was the land of their pilgrimage? The land of Canaan. This land right here from where you see me broadcasting, this is the land of Canaan. And the Most High has shown me, and I have no doubt that this is the land of Canaan. The Most High has brought me through the same thing. Well, Abraham and Isaac sojourning in a land that they are to possess. I never asked him to take me here. I never wanted to come here. He took me here. He showed me where to go. And he has me here. If I had desire and I came here and I calculated through scriptures, taking out scriptures and dividing, okay, so this is this and the land is here and the water is there. And so Egypt is there and such is there and and calculated it. I would have said something else. But he brought me here. He led me here. And when he led me here, he showed me through different ways, scriptures and revelation. This is the land of Canaan. So the land of Canaan was the land of their pilgrimage. The land of the pilgrimage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Exodus 6 verse 2. And Allah spake unto Moses and said unto him, I am Yahuwah. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Yitzchak, and unto Jacob, by the name of Allah Almighty, but by my name Yahuwah was I not known to them. And I have also established my covenant with them, to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. I'm going to show you the importance of the land of the pilgrimage. People, listen to this one. Watch this one carefully. The importance of being here where the Most High sent me, or sent us. To give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. I am a stranger here in this land of my pilgrimage. He says he's going to give us the land. But if we look at the meaning of pilgrimage, look at this very carefully. Look at the meaning of pilgrimage. Look very carefully. Let me get this microphone out of the way. The meaning of pilgrimage, H4033. Magur, in the sense of lodging. I want you to look very carefully at the very next explanation. In the sense of lodging. So it's somewhere you go to lodge, right? A temporary abode. By extension, a permanent residence. This word is very unique because it means a temporary abode, by extension, a permanent residence. What does this mean? What does this mean? A temporary abode, by extension, a permanent residence. You know what it means? It means when you sojourn as a pilgrim and stranger, the land where you sojourn, where he sends you, this land where he has sent us, will be a temporary abode, but by extension, it is a permanent residence. Which means you sojourn there as a pilgrim, but like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it will be given to you as a permanent residence. So the promises belong to you, and we are children of the promise. And in the book of Romans chapter 9, Shaul told us about the promise. He told us that the promises belong to the children of Yashua. This is one of them. To give us the land in which we sojourn. And we're going to look furthermore from this, that when the Most High tells us that he will only protect those that are found in the land. So this temporary abode is by extension a permanent residence. So when you sojourn here, it is your temporary home for now while you are a stranger. But when the Most High decides to bring us back into the land, it will be our permanent residence. Yes? Dwelling, pilgrimage, where sojourn, be a stranger. Okay? So how can you want to enter into, and you don't want to be a stranger, you don't want to sojourn, you don't want to go through this. No, you want easy life, man. No, man. Foolishness Kazakh talking about, man. Hey, I will sit in Babylon and wait on the Most High to come for me. Yeah? And he told me that he will come for me. Yeah, man. Keep sitting and keep waiting. Now, let me show you another. How much do I have left? Whoa. So much that I have left. But let me see if I can cut it through. This is too important. I know you know that. All right. Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage. Now, let me explain something to you again. So people sent me, these are two of the verses that these people sent me, someone sent me. Jeremiah 31:8, Jeremiah 12:15. So the person saw these verses, used these verses as if to imply that these verses are saying that they just picked out these verses and say, hey, the Most High is going to come for us out of Babylon. And indeed, when you look at these things, they appear to be saying so. But as I said, as I was told last time, we are lazy. Not only lazy, we are also incapable of matching precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little to get the truth. So what do? We cherry pick. We just pick here. It sounds good. Hey, this one sounds like what I want to know, want to say. And you pick it up and you say, it says so. But you have to dig deep. So, let me show you something. Exodus 6, verse 6 onwards. Verse 6 to verse 8. When the Most High told Moses about taking the children of Israel out, he told him about the process. In the process, he never mentioned to them about anything to do with pilgrimage, with sojourning. He never told him that he would bring them into the wilderness and there he would plead with them for 40 years. He never told them that. Here is what he told them. Verse 6. Wherefore say unto the children of Yasharal, I am Yahuwah, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you an Alua, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah your Alua, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. And I will bring you in unto the land, concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and I will give it to you for an heritage. I am Yahuwah. Here he tells us the process. Nowhere in it does he tell us that he's going to let us sojourn and go through any wilderness experience. But it did happen. It did happen. So people will look when he speaks about Babylon, and when he does not mention this wilderness experience, and say that he did not say it, so it won't happen. Yes? No mention of pilgrimage here, over there, but it will happen. There was no mention of pilgrimage here in Exodus, but it did happen. No mention of pilgrimage here, but it will happen. Because the other verses tell you that it will happen. Jeremiah 31:8. Behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. So they look on this and say, they bring them actually means that, hey, he's going to come and he's going to lift them out. We already have looked at several that shows that come out and go out and flee out and all of that actually means that they shall escape out of voluntarily by their own efforts. So the person is saying, no man will do it out of their own effort. It's Yahuwah who will do it. Yes, Yahuwah will do it, but through who? Through his messengers. Yahuwah works through men. Yahuwah does not go and flip things supernaturally. He works through men because you will have to, here's the trick. You will have to trust the Most High that he is using these persons to tell you the truth as to where to go. That is it. If you are unruly, rebellious, you are not in subjection, you are not humble or anything, you are going to disqualify yourself. He has to give you that opportunity. So don't think he's just going to pick. This is unheard of. Spiritually, this is foolish. He's just going to just come and pick you up out of Babylon and just come and put you in the land. Where on earth in scripture, the Yahuwah that I know does not do that. The Yahuwah that I know does not do that. He will cause you so that you have the choice. Everything has to include my choice. Yes? Anyway, verse 15, Jeremiah 12. And it shall come to pass that after I have plucked them out, I will return and have compassion on them, and will bring them again, every man to his heritage, and every man to his land. So it appears now he doesn't pluck them out. After I pluck them out, I return, have compassion, and bring them again, every man to his heritage. It's not as easy as that. Look, when he spoke about in Exodus 6:6, he spoke about bringing them out and then bringing them into the land. He never told you that they were sojourning as pilgrims. Pilgrimage is a part of our salvation. You have to go to pilgrimage. Let me go back. Let me go back to what we were talking about earlier. The process. The process. Let me go back to it. The process. Sojourning and pilgrimage. That is it. When he brought the children of Yasharal out of Egypt, that's what he did. Us going back into the midst of Babylon, it's sojourning and pilgrimage. Look at number 5 on the left. Yes. He pities us and renders recompense to our enemies. Before he renders recompense to our enemies, he wants us to do what? Sojourn. So when we're sojourning, at the same time he's dealing with our enemies, we are not amongst our enemies to partake of their sins and to receive of their plagues. And when he's done and satisfied, then he will take us after our sojourn and bring us back into the land. Let me go back. Let me go back to the very critical thing now. Yahuwah says He will only deliver those who are found in the land in the end time. Why is that? Because those of his people will be sojourning. And many people will say, but wait, why the Most High? What about people who cannot move? People who cannot this and cannot that? Guess what? That is the Most High's power. He knows our hearts. Those who can move will move. If he's to bring other people in, he will find his way to bring the people in because he knows the heart of the people and knows they are incapable. But if you are capable, and he knows that you are capable, and you can sojourn, and you are hearing his calling to sojourn, and you do not sojourn, you are going to be in problems. So you are going to be asking, what about those people who are sick, those people who are in wheelchair, those people who are incapable? Most I will deal with that. But for you, hey, you know, and you are capable. And you might say, I don't have any money. If you try, when I left this place, I never had any money. I never had any money to leave. I never even had plane fare. The Most High provided. And it has provided from ever since. Because this that I'm doing is not a job. Because I don't monetize. Yes? The Most High will lay it on people's hearts and people will give. And that is how I survive. Yeah? So, the Most High will take care of you if you have the desire. All you need is the faith. All you have to do is the desire and the drive, and you start moving. The Most High will just pop, 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 and fit everything in place. That has been my experience, our experience here. So don't go and say, but that already that is lack of faith, which cannot please the Most High. Anyway, 2 Ezra 9, verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved, everyone that shall be saved, everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works, and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils. So we are fleeing out of Babylon, not only to say, I'm coming out, I'm relocating. The Most High will preserve us from the said perils. This is why it's important to know where the Most High says to go. If you follow the Most High's order, there is going to be safety where he tells you to go. It might look unsafe now, yes? But when the time comes, the Most High is going to gather up his people and protect them. Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land. In my land. And within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So everybody will not obey this. Everybody will not follow this. It is those that have been sanctified by him for himself from the beginning of time. Are you? Do you believe that you are chosen of the Most High? But those that be left behind of thy people, who are the host children of Judah, they that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. In other words, I want you to understand this. People in the West, people over the other part of the world, the people that are be left behind are the people who are now in the land. They are a big, huge priority to the Most High. The Most High is going to telling you that he's going to protect them. You have to come amongst them so that when their salvation is there, you are there with them. It is like us with the Gentiles. The Gentiles have to come among us. We have to come among his people who are found within his borders. It's easy. So the people within his borders, we present ourselves with them in these borders. The Gentiles who want to join themselves have to join themselves with us in these borders. Now when he destroyed the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, He shall defend his people that remain where? Within his borders. That's the protection from Hamashiach. I haven't checked a long while to see if... Remember, if you have questions, please leave your questions in the chat in YouTube and in the Zoom, those who are in the Zoom. 2nd Baruch 29 speaks about these borders again. Baruch was asking the Most High. The Most High was telling him about great tribulation that will be coming on the earth. Baruch asked the Most High if what transpired, if it will happen over the whole world, if the great tribulation will take place over the whole world. This was the answer of Yahuwah. 2nd Baruch 29 verse 1. And Yahuwah answered and said to me, that which will happen at that time bears upon the whole earth. Therefore all who live will notice it. So all who live will notice the great tribulation that is taking place. But there will be protection. Yeah? For at that time, I shall only protect those found in this land at that time. Those found in the land of Judah. Those found in this land at that time, the only people will be protected from the great tribulation. So you can stay in Babylon, but you will be going through great tribulation. Hamashiach said in the book of Revelation, to try to ensure. He said it 2 places. Let me go to 2 places where he said it. Let me go to 2 places where he said it. Where did he say it again? In the book of Revelation, chapter... Where is it? Chapter 3, verse 10.
3 verse 10, yeah.
Let me start from verse 7 to show who. These are the people of Philadelphia. And to the Malach of the assembly in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept thy word, and hast not denied my name. Look at Revelation 3 verse 8. Look at that verse. I just got something from that verse I never got before. Look at that verse. Do you see what I see?
Open door.
Hey, you see this book called the Bible? I cannot stop being amazed at it. What a powerful sin thing, as we say in Jamaica. What a powerful book. Do you see what I see? I never came upon this. I'm amazed. Let me try to get myself together. Please give me a little time to get... Let me get myself together. Revelation. Look at this. I know thy works. If you go back to Ezra that we just read, it says, those who are able to escape by their works and by faith will find salvation in his land and within his borders. Look what Hamashiach said, and we were just speaking about people who said, what if we cannot flee?
I have set before thee an open
Those
door.
who have works and are able to escape by faith, what does Hamashiach say? Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. An open door to do what? An open door to do what? An open door to go into the land. An open door to flee out of Babylon. Because you have the works, and you have a little strength, and you have kept his word, and you have not denied his name. And he said, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, which shows you that he's speaking about the end times, because this will not happen in the normal days, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved you. Now what does he say? This is speaking about this that we're talking about now, people I never knew. Pardon me for being so excited about it. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation which shall come upon all the earth, great tribulation, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man shall take that crown. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my Allure, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my Allure, and the name of the city that we are seeking. Hey! Everything falls in place. Everything is coming into place. Which is New Jerusalem. This is what we have been talking about from before. That this is the city that we seek. Which cometh down out of heaven from my Allure, and I will write upon him my new name. Yes! Yada Yahuwah. Great you are and greatly to be praised, highly exalted above the heavens. Who is there like you? Who else could give me this? Who else could give us this? Who else could give us this at this time? Most High is speaking. Who is listening? Man, I could sit and go through this all day. But, man, oh man, let me continue. Woo. So he will deliver those found in the land. So as long as if you have the desire, you have the works, yes, he has set before you an open door and no man can close it. Which means it is open for you to come here. It's only through your faith and he will find you here. What did I say earlier? That as long as you have the desire, the Most High will make it happen. Same thing. It's a Ruach speaking. Anyway, coming near to the end now, because there's something that I cannot include. So, salvation belongs to righteous pilgrims. Salvation belongs to righteous pilgrims. This is something that we never paid attention to. 2 Ezra 8 verse 39. The Most High was telling him that he will not lament over those who are to be destroyed. But what does he say? But I will rejoice over the disposition of the righteous, and I will remember also their pilgrimage, and the salvation, and the reward that they shall have. So the righteous will have pilgrimage in the end. 2 Ezra is talking about the end time, about the people who will be gathered. The people who will be gathered are people who have pilgrimage. What is that pilgrimage? Sojourning. Strangers. Sojourning in a land that is not theirs, which they are to receive eventually as permanent residents as their inheritance. So the righteous will have pilgrimage and salvation and reward that they shall have. Like as I have spoken now, so shall it come to pass. So the Most High is saying it shall surely come to pass when they will see and receive their salvation. Verse 41. Let me take myself off. For as the husbandman soweth much seed upon the ground, and planteth many trees, and yet the thing that is sown good in his season cometh not up, neither doth all that is planted take root, even so is it of them that are sown in the world. They shall not all be saved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. Those that are sown in the world, even believers, they shall not all be saved. It is those who have the desire, those who have pilgrimage, will have the salvation and the reward. So let's look again at flee and escape. Flee and escape. Jeremiah 50 verse 28, because people don't pick out these verses, which tell you that you yourself have to voluntarily come out of Babylon. They don't pick up these verses, they just pick out the ones that appear to say that he's just going to just pick us up and bring us in the land. Jeremiah 50 verse 28. And I know people who have been in the land, been kicked out of the land, people who don't want to come in the land, don't want the trouble of fleeing out of Babylon, they're going to want to believe, hey, the Most High is going to pick me up and put me there at the right time. And I understand that. But please do not teach people that, because that is error, that is a lie. You are causing people to err. Jeremiah 50 verse 28. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahuwah, or Alua, the vengeance of his temple. Them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon. What does the word flee there mean? The word flee is the word nous, which means to flit, that is, vanish away, subside, escape, causatively chase, impel, deliver, abate, away, be displayed, make to flee, flee away, fleeing, put to flight, hide, lift up a standard. So the voice of them that flee away, that are put to flight, that escape, and let's look at the meaning of the word escape. It means, it comes from H4603, a refugee that have escaped, a fugitive. The voice of them that flee, that escape, and are fugitives out of the land of Babylon, and are refugees out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion. So we have to escape, we have to flee, we have to be pilgrims, we have to be refugees, we have to be fugitives. So there are many people who are seeking out lands where everything is perfect, where the government calls you and wants you and say, hey, come back home. We embrace you, we like you, we love you. What kind of fugitive is that? So, pilgrimage. Let me explain something to you. Pilgrimage. The Most High, because we have had to, I think I've had to leave out a lot because of the time. Almost 3 hours. Because of the time I have to leave out a lot. I wanted to show us going into Babylon and show this process. The process is the Most High calls us to be sojourners, to be pilgrims, to be refugees, fugitives for a while, gathered together. He brings us into the wilderness of the people. Yes? Then he pleads with us. Then those of us who overcome will be gathered again and be taken into the land of Yasharal. Very simple. Very, very simple. That is the process. Gathered together, perfected and going through, he's pleading with us and he's purging. Those of us who overcome, then he's going to bring us into the land. There's a time coming when he will gather and says it's time to go back into the land. But this stage is not that stage. This is the stage of sojourning, of pilgrimage, of being refugees, of being fugitives, coming out of Babylon. Yes? So let's look at it. Micah 4, verses 16, verse 6 to 13. I think this is where we will end today. How we will be gathered before we are brought into Babylon. We are brought into the land, sorry. We are brought into Babylon. We are already in Babylon. Micah 4, verse 6. In that day, saith Yahuwah, will I assemble her that halteth, And I will gather her that is driven out, and her that I have afflicted. And I will make her that halted a remnant, and her that was cast off a strong nation, and Yahuwah shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth even forever. So the Most High is going to have a remnant. He's going to assemble us. Okay? This is after we have sojourned. This is not the sojourning. This is after we have sojourned, and he has decided now, okay, these are the people who are going to go into my land. After he has made his choice, he has examined us and decided who is going to go in. Okay, this is it right now. And thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion, the kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. Now why dost thou cry out aloud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselor perished? For pangs have taken thee as a woman in travail. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion. Why does he say be in pain and labor to bring forth? Because here we will be in our sojourning, we will be in our pilgrimage. We will not be going through the nicest of times. For thou now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There Yahuwah shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Let me explain this. So when we are sojourning, then we will be like a woman in travail, because we will be going through pains. Yeah? But you have to leave out of the city and dwell in the field and sojourn in the field, doing your pilgrimage, even in Babylon, because Babylon will be all over. But you will not be in the midst of Babylon, because you have left their cities and you have gone in the field and you have set yourself apart, and the Most High will be protecting you there. That is where the Most High is going to gather you from, to lead you back now into the land after your sojourning. That's it. After your sojourning, is going to gather you and take you into the land. Hey, there's another thing that I wanted to look at, but I'll just tell you. And this is what we had to look at. No Israelite mixed with Babylonians can enter the land. Very important. Don't think that you're going there. You know what? I might just do it. I might just make this the longest video I've ever done. But I have to do this. I just said it. I have to do it. No Israelite mixed with Babylon. 1 Kings 11, verse 2. Very important. I did this, and I did a series of this on Just a Word about mingling the seed going back into the land. Let me explain something to you. Whenever we are returning to the land, whatever you go on with out there, the Most High tells you that when you are going back in there, you cannot go in there with mingled seed. Because he's restoring the kingdom. He's restoring the kingdom in its perfection. And the next thing you're going to ask, how do I know if I'm an Israelite? If you don't know you're an Israelite, then it means that you are a slave. You are a servant to us. If you are not us, you are a servant to us. I know who I am. If you don't know, well, I'm sorry for you. The Most High says you cannot mingle seed and get back into the land. This happened in the time of Jeremiah, when they were going back into the land. And it happened in the time of Ezra, when they were coming out of Babylon again. The two times they were coming out of Babylon, the Most High stipulated to them, tell these people, those that are joined with Babylonians cannot enter into the city. I am saying the same thing, telling you the same thing. No mixed cannot enter the kingdom. Let me do it, because I have to do it. 1 Kings 11, verses 1 to 2. It's all about DNA. But let me just speak. Let me just talk. Let me just talk, yeah? Let me chat. It's all about DNA, people. Your DNA is a blueprint as to who you are. When you mingle seed, you mingle the DNA. As messed up as we are, the Most High accepts us who we are. Because now you're going to say, many of us were mixed with so and so and so and so. Yes? But the Most High says He's cleansed our blood. So whatever we are, however mixed up we are, the Most High says, remain as you are. But don't make it worse. If you bring mingled seed in, you cannot enter. So it's all about the DNA, which is why the mark of the beast attacks the DNA. It's all about the DNA, and the nations themselves know more than us. Because if you notice today, there is a revolution taking place of mixing seed, mixed marriage. Everywhere you go, you see black and white marrying. Everywhere you go, black and white, black and white, black and white. I remember there was a picture, royalty-free picture place that I had. Everything that I put in, and it involved couples or anything, the thing was riddled with black and white people. And I'm saying, why are these people putting up this black and white? And they make Prince Charles' son married to a black woman. And when they married to a black woman, they departed from the thing looking like rebels, like us. So that people can love them. And people can see them as an example of rebels. And people can want to be like them. And people accept them and accept their mixed marriage. There is something about DNA that you don't understand. It's DNA that they're attacking. So let me go. 1 Kings 11, verses 1 to 2. First Kings 11. And people might look and say, but back in the days, such and such was that and that. The Most High says, when you are going back out of Babylon, no mixed seeds. And what He says, I obey and I speak it. 1 Kings 11, verses 1 to 2. But King Shulamar loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites. These are the culprits now that are luring us to mix our seeds with them. Edomites. This is the greatest amount of mixed seed you see. Edomites and Israelites. Zidonians and Hittites. Of the nations concerning which Yahuwah said, what did Yahuwah say unto the children of Yasharal? Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their Elohim. Solomon clave unto these in love. Verse 4. For it came to pass when Shulamar was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other Elohim, and his heart was not perfect with Yahuwah his Elohim, as was the heart of David his father. For Shulamar went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. Who tells you that when you go into the land, these people are not going to try to inveigle us to go after their gods? Who knows why the Most High says this? I am just telling what He says. First, Esdras 8, verses 1 to 7. I'll just touch it because you know how it is. First, Esdras 8, verses 1 to 7. Whoa, my power is going. I'll have to hurry. Wow, it should soon be back. Hopefully the power will soon be back. I'm going off emergency backup power, so the power is supposed to come back in 2 minutes. I only hope it does, or else we will be in darkness. And after these things, when Artaxerxes, the king of the Persians, reigned, came Esdras, the son of Sarias, the son of Ezarias, the son of Elkiah, the son of Shalom, the son of Saduk, the son of Achitob, the son of Amarias, This Esdras went up from Babylon as a scribe, being very ready in the law of Moses that was given by the Elohim of Yasharal. So Ezra was ready in the law of Moses. So it is the Torah that has to be our driving force going into the land, because it is the Torah that will be governing the activities in the land. And the king did him honor, for he found favor in his sight in all his requests. There went up with him also certain of the children of Yasharal, of the priests, of the Levites, of the singers, of the holy singers, porters, and ministers of the temple unto Jerusalem. In the 7th year of the king of Artaxerxes, in the 5th month, this was the king's 7th year, for they went from Babylon in the 1st day of the 1st month, and came to Jerusalem according to the prosperous journey which Yahuwah gave them. For Ezra had very great skill, so that he omitted nothing of the law and commandments of Yahuwah, but taught all the ordinances and judgments. This is why Ezra now came and said, no, you cannot enter into the land with mixed breed, mingled seed, because he had great skill and he omitted nothing of the law and commandments of Yahuwah. How can we now be going and omitting of the commandments of the law and the law and commandments of Allah? We have to teach all the ordinances and the judgments, because this is what happened. And remember, we have to look at what happened before to know what is coming. Let's go to verse 67. And they delivered the king's commandments unto the king's stewards and to the governors of Syria and Phoenice, and they honored the people and the temple of Allah. Now when these things were done, the rulers came unto me and said, the nation of Yasharal, the princes, the priests, and the Levites, as everyone, have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites. Now what this appears to be saying, that no mixed seed at all. Because I was very cagey with this. And say, well, we don't know, but I know for one the Edomites. But it's saying all of these nations, we don't know who they are today. But if we know that they are not of our people, hey, problem. Of the Canaanites, the Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. So going back into the land, we are now the holy, set apart seed. And why is it important for the holy seed? Because it tells us in the book of Isaiah chapter 61, it tells us, verse 9, and their seed, the holy seed, shall be known among the Gentiles. The holy seed has to be separate from the seed of the Gentiles to be known. And their offspring among the people, all that see them shall acknowledge them that they are the seed which Yahuwah hath blessed. The holy seed, we have to set ourselves apart. Let me go back. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity. Yes? You can read right down to verse 96 to see all that they did and all that happened. I'm trying for the sake of time. All right? Read and see what happened. Now we are going to go to another account, which is in the book of 4th Baruch, that showed what happened when Jeremiah, Yirmiyahu, was going back into the land. We're going to go at chapter 8. When Yirmiyahu was going back into the land. We just read about Esdras. Let's read about Yirmiyahu. And I'll start from here. 37 of 7. But Jeremiah took the figs, that is a little before chapter 8. But Jeremiah took the figs and distributed them to the sick among the people, and he continued teaching them to keep away from the pollutions of the Gentiles and of Babylon. This is what we are teaching also. To keep away from the pollution of the Gentiles and the pollutions of Babylon. Verse 8. But the day came in which, chapter 8 rather, but the day came in which Yahuwah led the people out of Babylon. Remember, we said we are going to sojourn in Babylon. Then there is a day when the Most High is going to gather us and say, okay, time to go out of Babylon. Time to go now into Jerusalem. So that is why he has us in the land, so that we wait in the land, sojourning in the land, until he gives us the inheritance. But the day came in which Yahuwah led the people out of Babylon, and Yahuwah said to Jeremiah, get up, you and the people, and come to the Jordan. And you will say to the people, let him who desires Yahuwah leave the works of Babylon behind. Let him who desires Yahuwah, and that is what we're telling you today. If you seek Yahuwah, you come out of Babylon, you leave Babylon behind you. Isn't that what we have said? If you bring Babylon with you, you are going to be corrupted. The Most High is going to refuse you and reject you and kick you back home, kick you back out. Purge from among us the rebels. Let him who desires Yahuwah leave the works of Babylon behind. And of the men who took wives from them, and the women who took husbands from them, let those who hear you cross over, and take them up to Jerusalem. But as for those who do not hear you, that is those who refuse to let go of their partners, of their mingled partners, strange wives, strange husbands, let those who hear you cross over and take them up to Jerusalem. But as for those who do not hear you, you must not lead them there. We cannot go back into the land with our mixed seed, our strange wives. And Jeremiah spoke these words to the people, and they got up and came to the Jordan to cross over. And when he told them the words which Yahuwah had spoken to him, half of those who had intermarried with them did not want to hear Jeremiah, but said to him, we will not leave our wives behind forever, but we will bring them with us back to our city. So they crossed over the Jordan and came to Jerusalem. And Jeremiah stood firm with Baruch and Abimelech, saying, no man who cohabits with Babylonians will enter this city. Well, I'm in good company, Jeremiah, Baruch, and Abimelech. And they said among themselves, let's get up and return to Babylon to our place. And they departed. Remember, in the book The Shepherd of Hermas, it said you might not want to leave your city, because if you leave and want to go back, then when you go back, they might reject you. That is exactly what happened here. But when they came to Babylon, the Babylonians came out to meet them, saying, you will not come into our city, because you hated us and went out from us in secret. For this you will not come in with us. For we made one another swear an oath in the name of our Elohim to receive neither you nor your children, since you went out from us in secret. And when they learned this, they turned back and came to a desert place some distance from Jerusalem, and they built themselves a city and named it Samaria. And Jeremiah sent to them, saying, repent, for an angel of righteousness is coming, and he will lead you to your exalted place. Okay? So he's saying, repent, and repentance means you undo what you did. So in other words, whether you are accepted back in Babylon or not, you cannot come into the land with your mingled seed. Yada Yahuwah. And that is where we will end it today. So, in closing, a few days ago I did a teaching entitled Your Grace Period is Running Out. That is what the Most High, had laid on my heart. Your grace period is running out. That is what we are saying again today. The Most High has a grace period. Your grace period is running out. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Sojourn. Make your pilgrimage. Yada Yahuwah, Yada Yahuwah, Yada Yahuwah. All praises to his name. Great and exalted. The Most High is great and exalted above the heavens and above the earth. His word is true, and I merely communicate his word as is given me of him. This is how he teaches me and he leads me, putting the verses together before me, showing me it is not because of how good I am. I am no good, nothing. It is what he gives me I deliver. I am not smarter than anybody else or more knowledgeable than anyone else. I just do and deliver what the Most High gives me, and what he has given me today, this is what I speak. Many people are deceiving you because they are going according to the desires of their hearts. I have no desire but the kingdom. Whatever he gives me, I speak. I have no desire, nothing running away from, because I have given up everything. That is important. When you have not given up everything, you will have desires. When you have given up everything and just leave yourself, well, surrender. Just like that. The Most High is able to take you. That is John 3:8. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and you know not from whence it cometh. So it is with everyone that is born of the Ruach. The Ruach is able to take me wherever, teach me, lead me wherever, because I just leave myself blank, open. Father, teach me. All right? So what I have learned, what he has given me, this I deliver unto you. So let me go and see if there are any questions on the YouTube. Give thanks and praise to the Most High, for he has delivered unto me, unto us, this word here today. All right? All right, 72 watching. That is a very good
go
and see if
amount.
there are any questions. So just want to see YouTube. Give thanks and praise to the Most High,
all right.
for he has delivered. Okay, now who is untruthful? Unto me. Listen to this teaching and ask Yahuwah for
today.
truth and guidance. Right? All right, 72 watching. That is a
It's
very
sad.
good. The Messiah said there will be many false teachers in the time of the end. Just want to see
YouTube.
Zion is a literal place, the place promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Correct. Someone don't want to accept truth.
Unto me.
Hebrews 12:22. But if you have drawn near to Mount Zion and to the city of the living Elohim, to the heavenly Jerusalem, to myriads of messengers,
Right?
to the entire gathering and assembly of the firstborn, having been enrolled in heaven, and to Elohim the judge of all, and the spirits of righteous men made perfect,
Zion is a literal place.
and to the mediator of a new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling, which speaks better than the blood of Abel. Take heed not to refuse the one speaking, for if those did not escape who refused the warning on earth, much less we who turn away from him from heaven, whose voice shook the earth then, but now he has promised, saying, Yet once more I shake not only the earth, but also the heavens. In fire, Yahshua, keep following man. I have warned, it's up to each his own. Yahuwah has given each one a helper, if he seek and pray for it. And that is his Ruach HaKadosh. He gives his Ruach HaKadosh, yes, but he also gives us teachers. So the Ruach can actually be in line with Ruach. Okay? We need teachers, as we learned last week, especially in this awakening. Okay? Yahuwah has given each one a helper. Bob Marley once said his home is not in Jamaica, his home is in Africa. Yada Yahuwah. Shalom Malenia, my sister. Actually be in line with Cliff said, keep going. This is important. I don't know at which point. Let's not go back and forth.
Up to each his own.
Okay.
Yahuwah has given each one a helper.
Bob Marley once said, his home is not in Jamaica,
Hello?
his home is in Africa.
He gives
Yada
us
Yahuwah.
Yes, but he also
Shalom,
gives us teachers,
millennial, my
so
sister.
will actually be in line with
Huh?
Okay.
He said, keep going. This is important.
Okay,
okay. Let's not go
Okay.
back and forth. I don't think I should be echoing now.
Yahuwah has given each one a helper.
Huh? Are you hearing it?
His home is not in Jamaica.
Hello?
His home is in Africa.
Yada Yahuwah. All right, let's not go back and forth, but wait for the true explanation from Yahuwah, true teacher. I see your meaning. Thank you for sharing what you have put in your heart. Walk in His purpose.
Okay.
So many people here in Babylon, USA, are promising that there will be a second Exodus and to be ready. So don't worry about fleeing beforehand.
Are you hearing it?
Yes. So this second Exodus that they're talking
Let's
about,
not go back and forth, but wait for the true explanation from Yahuwah.
I myself will not tell them that there will not be this second thing.
Thank you for sharing.
But what I'm saying is that the Most High has called us to flee out of the midst of Babylon. So what I am actually teaching is what the Most High has called us to do.
Fleeing beforehand.
I am not teaching a speculation. Because what is to become a speculation? This is concrete. Yes?
I myself
And this is action, and this makes all the spiritual sense in the world.
But what I'm saying is that the Most High has called us
Yeah.
to flee out
In
of the
fire,
midst of
Yasharal,
Babylon.
I'm out. I can't be a part of this. I am unsubscribing. Satan do the same thing, mixing truth with lies. Holy Spirit will guide and teach all if they pray and study for themselves. I only follow Yahusha. All right, goodbye.
Yes?
Nice to see
And this
you.
is action, and this makes all the spiritual sense in the
Sad
world.
to see you
What I'm
go,
saying is that the Most High
but
has
it is your choice to go. The Most High has leaders. Where on earth do you think
Satan do the same
the Most High is just going to call people
Holy Spirit will guide
and
teach
for people
all
to
if they
say
pray and
they are
study
led
for
by
themselves.
Ruach HaKadosh?
I only follow Yahuwah.
We did the teaching last week.
Goodbye.
It would be nice if
Nice
Lynn
to
Fire
see you.
watched the teaching. I don't care about subscription because I don't care about numbers.
But it is your
But
choice to go.
it is your choice. So there is nowhere in the scriptures where people are just led by the Spirit and just like that. Because bring someone who is led by the Spirit and I will show you all the errors in their doctrines, all the errors in their teachings. The Most High has people who He chooses to disperse His truth. And the test is, will people be humble enough to listen to these people? This person here is showing that she or he is unwilling to be subject to a teacher. Very simple. All right, so she said, he or she said, thanks, just don't let your bye be your permanent. I don't know what that means. Anyway, the disciples didn't flee. They testified against Babylon and got removed from the enemy's cities because of their testimony. And you shall be hated by all men for my name's sake, but he who shall have endured to the end shall be saved. A taught one is not above his teacher nor servant. So what he's saying that the disciples did not flee out of Babylon. They did not flee out of Babylon because at that time it was not time to flee out of Babylon. Where did the command come to flee out of Babylon from the disciples? It came from John. Where did it come from, John? Flee out of the midst of Babylon in Revelation 18 near the end of the book. So the disciples did not flee, but they, through John, told us about fleeing. Then the scriptures now, understanding the scriptures, did the rest. Yes? So he said they indeed fled out from Babylon, but not by moving locations. That's what they did, but he told us to flee from Babylon. And if you look at the meaning of come out, it is come out of Babylon, to actually physically come out. All right? There might be a second Exodus, however, it might not be as nice as people make it out to be. The conditions might be a lot rougher than if we would have left in faith beforehand. Exactly, Tim. Exactly my sentiments. There may just be a second Exodus where he helps us out in the end, but it was going to be rough and tough, because those who flee out of Babylon, he will protect from what? From great tribulation. So those who might be there for the second Exodus of him taking people out would have gone through this great tribulation, gone through the horrors of great tribulation. Yes? Yeah. Right? All right, all right. Are you saying the remnant needs to flee to South Africa? I'm not saying where anyone needs to go. I am saying whomever hear this, who hath an ear to hear, whoever hears this and is inspired, that is for them. If you hear it and you're not led to do so, then it's not for you. I am just speaking what the Most High has laid on my heart. Who hath an ear to hear, let him hear. All right? All right. Just be ready for this, especially if you're anyone remain in Babylon until the end. Be ready even unto death. Up. Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Alua.
The land of heaven, I am son.
All right.
The land of Africa, I am Yashara.
All right, so one says he's seeking to depart from Babylon and its way. You have to physically move out of her, because a physical spanking is coming to Babylon. Physical spanking. You have to come out of her. Answer the question, period, answer. No, you're not going to get me for you to get something to this. When I speak, when I teach, who hath an ear to hear, they will hear. Yeah? The disciples asked the Messiah, why do you speak to them in parables? He said, because it is given for you to understand, but to them it is not given. So if it is not given you to understand, then you will not understand. Yeah? I'm not obligated to tell you yes or no. I'm not obligated to you for anything. Yes? I'm here to preach the word. Who hath an ear to hear? Let them hear. All right? Someone is not here for truth, but for a challenge. All right. So most people in Babylon are making excuses and keeping willful ignorance. That's it. So when people hear this now, they start to make noise. Oh, what is he telling? Is he saying that we should do this? And they talk and they go and laugh among themselves and talk and laugh and mock among themselves. And go and make videos and make excerpts and mock. Yes? Who hath an ear to hear? Let them hear. I'm not here to tell you everything in detail. Like the Messiah, I speak. And to whom it is given to understand, they will understand. All right? So I will not answer you. I don't even know who you are. I've never seen you here before. All right? Bum bum. Ah da dum. Ah na 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 na. Ah da da. All right. So those in the Zoom, please put your questions there or whatever. Oh, so talking about Kenya, Uganda, some people believe that the land is up in that region. TOTW Ministries, for example. I only go where where I was sent and where the Most High has shown me. I cannot even comment on those areas because I was not shown any Kenya or Uganda. By you being anywhere on the continent, you are still in a much better place than any